A very good afternoon. It's the SLC Sky Exchange T20 Invitational Tournament, the battle of the Gs, as one might call it, Greys versus Greens. Well, as we do know that the Greys haven't done too well, but the Greens are in with an excellent chance of getting through to the final, as they have played some really good cricket. And let's try and show you the tournament schedule. Most of the games have been played. Today is the penultimate day of the tournament, and then we go into the final with the Greys versus the Greens and Blues versus Reds coming up next. And then, of course, we know the grand final coming up in 2 days. Right, let's try and show you where the points table is, or where the respective teams are at the moment. Well, that's where they are at the moment. We could see that the Blues are right on top. Reds, Greys are tied, and Reds and Greens are tied, and the Greys have actually won nothing so far, and Greys have been actually the wooden spoonies of this tournament, but there are plenty of opportunities. Of course, Blues are through, but what about the Greens and Reds? That's going to be the one, with Greens playing the Greys today and the Reds playing the Blues in the next game. So let's try and think about it. Let's try and analyze this game first. Favi's Maharoof with me. Greys versus Greens. You think no match? Because the Greys haven't been doing too well. They've been struggling a lot. They have come up with some late order resistance or late resistance, but they haven't really been there.
Yeah, on paper I think Greys looks a bit weaker, and the Greens a very solid team. Lots of Sri Lankan players playing for the Greens. So I think it's on one to call it it's a one-sided game. But in T20 game it's all about one batsman firing. As I said in the last show, Greys have nothing to lose, everything to gain. If a couple of players gets in and gets firing, I think that's where the Greens will be found wanted.
Yeah, what about let's focus on the Greens team. Who are the standout performers for you? Because actually we've had very few batsmen really putting their hands up in this tournament.
Absolutely, I think Roshan Dickwell has been standout. I mean, if you ask me before the series, he would have been there or thereabout in the selection in the national team. But after the performance in this, I'm sure he must be knocking on the doors. Ramesh Mendis was very impressive. Jeffrey Vandasi has been really impressive, and Brinder Fernando coming in probably. I mean, couldn't play the last game. Hopefully, he'll play today, and he can be the difference as well. So I think led well by Dasun Shanaka. I think he has been very good as a captain, and also I'm waiting to watch Dinesh Chandimal, because we saw how much runs he got in the Test series, but we haven't seen him in full fire still in this tournament. So maybe today may be the day.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows whether today will be the day? But then, how is the surface? That's the big question. Because see, the batsmen haven't really enjoyed the surface much. I sometimes wonder whether it is the surface or whether it has actually been the batsman. Let's try and find out. Well, he's with me now, but he was there a few minutes ago looking at the pitch. Favi's Maharoof.
It's another hot and humid day out here in R.P. Stadium. This pitch was used for the first day. It was a double header, and the bowlers did have a good time. This was rolled in nicely. The last game which was played, we had some live grass, but in this occasion, all the live grass have been rolled in. Let's take a closer look. It's pretty hard and evenly grass, but the live grass, as I said, has died down. So overall, we've been speaking about, as pitch reporters, about the pitch, how it's been behaved. Today, I'm joined with Avishka Gunawardana, who's a coach of the Greys team. Let's take the coach's perspective and what's been spoken inside the dressing room. Ava, thanks for joining. What's been spoken about the pitches overall?
Thank you for having me, Ma. The first game we played on this was slightly on the slower side, and spinners kind of enjoyed bowling on it. It had a bit of grip. But today it looks a little different. Looks the same, but it looks a little harder. As you knocked, I could hear the noise. So definitely this should have more runs than the first game.
Fair to say, batsmen who took a little time to get themselves in have scored runs rather than going from the first ball, going bang bang.
It depends on the batsman, I would say. Certain batsmen likes to take their time. Certain batsmen like to go from ball one. So I think it depends on it. But in any game, even if it's T20 or whatever, 50 over, it's always good to take a couple of balls to see how it behaves and go on from there. And this might have more runs than the first one.
Yeah, thank you, Avishka. Thanks for joining me. So that's Avishka. For me, it looks good, and 1-6 will be a pass score for me.
Well, yeah, you seem to be in love with 160. 160 seems to be always your number. Started with 160, went to 140. You come back to 160. What's about 160?
And if you take the record at R.P. Stadium, yes, I mean, this domestic tournament, the runs have been hard to come by, but international cricket 160 is what we normally speak about. And pitch looks fine, Roshan. It looks very hard, it looks dry. and on top of it, the grass have rolled in nicely, so that it might skid onto the bat. Only thing is, once the ball gets older, it might stop a little bit. But saying that, if the batsman gets in, we saw the other day when Dikwella got in, the runs to be made. So all about taking that few deliveries, probably 5 to 10 deliveries, just to get yourself in, and you can always catch up.
Now, we're talking about a surface that is going to be used in the next game as well. How do you see, of course, we're going to look at it later on, but how do you see this impacting that?
It might slow a bit, but also underlies generally at R. Premadas, it skids on. But this is the fourth game going to be played in 6 days, so 5 days. So I reckon it might slow up, but it all depends on, if you take the Blues side, it's pace heavy. They got 4 fast bowlers in that team. Reds have 3 spinners, so it might work the other way around. So it all depends on the dew as well.
Quick question, winning the toss, batting or bowling?
If it's Grace, I'll probably want to bat first. If it's Greens, probably want to bowl first, mainly because to have a look at the net run rate.
Right, those are his thoughts. Let's go across and join the 2 captains and the match referee. They're out there with Haritha Pereira, who's ready for the toss.
Okay, we are ready for the toss for the first game. We've got our match referee, Mr. Graham Lebroy. The coin is with Ashan Priyanjan for Grace, and the call from Dasun Chanaka for Greens.
Heads.
Heads the call.
We are going to bowl first.
It's a heads, Dasun. Congratulations. What are you going to do?
We're going to bowl first.
Oh, you've got the lowest score and the highest score of the tournament. This is almost a semi-final for you. What's your plan?
Yeah, actually the plan is to win with a bigger margin, restricting them to a lower score and chasing down from a low point of overs will be the key for us.
Dasun, is there any changes as you look for this important game?
Yeah, we got one change. Binro got sick in the second game, so he is back, and Nimesh Vyukti missing out.
And you want to put yourself also up in front and do something special?
Absolutely. Whenever I come to the middle, I need to perform. It doesn't matter you being the captain or not. Any of the players in this tournament, they need to step up and perform well in the tournament. Same with me.
Congratulations.
Thank
Have
you.
a good game.
Thanks.
And Ashan, is that a big story as far as the toss is concerned?
I mean, we were hoping to bat first again today, so hopefully we'll get to put a good score on the board and restrict them below that.
You've been generally okay as far as your bowling is concerned. It's the batting that doesn't have the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, in the last game we had a good start, so hopefully the batters in the middle today and even in the lower part clicks and do well in the match today.
Are you going to give any one of the others a chance, or is there any change?
We have 2 changes today. Akila and Akila is not playing, and
So who's playing?
Tarindu is playing today, and Kasun Vidura is playing today.
So the highest score of the last
day,
tournament is coming in.
Yeah.
Hopefully you will have an enjoyable game.
Thank you very
and let's have a good game too.
Thank you.
So the story from the middle is that Dasun Chanaka won the toss. He will have a bowl first.
Right, so the Greens are bowling first. Let's take a look at the Greys side. Quite a few changes there.
Yeah, quite a few changes. I think most of the bench players are getting a chance. Good to see Tarindu Ratnayaka getting a go, the ambidextrous spinner.
Right, what about the Greens? I think there is one change in the Green side. There is, let's take a look at where the Greens are. I think Binro Fernando is back.
A very strong team. Good to see Binro Fernando back into the 11. So I'm pretty sure he will bluster the pace attack, and good to have lots of batsmen batting up to number 8. That's including Binro Fernando, who could use a long handle.
Right, that's the story here at the R. Premadasa. The 2 Gs are about to start. Let's go across and join our first commentators.
Thank you very much, Roshan and Perviz. Yes, welcome. It's day 3 of the Sri Lanka Cricket Invitational Tournament. Thanuka Dabare will open. Strike rate of 134. He was amongst the runs in the previous game. Yes, this is the Sri Lanka Cricket Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, powered by Dafa News. Co-sponsors Daras and IPG Sports. Kasun Vidura Adhikari. He comes into the side not a bad strike rate. Just 28 years old. He was the top scorer of the Sri Lanka Cricket Limited Overs Championship concluded recently. As we say, a very good afternoon to Kosala Suresh Chandra. Interesting game this.
Good afternoon, Haritha, and good afternoon to all our viewers. So we are about to go ball number 1 of this very important game, mostly for the Greens.
That's funny. Nuwan Tushar was running in to bowl from the Kettarama end, pulled out of the last fraction of a second.
Losing his run-up, quite surprising on ball number 1. I wonder whether he did a warm-up run. Normally you get the bowlers, isn't it? They mark their run-ups, isn't it, before the game starts.
Very close to being a wide, but he got back to ball.
Now the Greys looked a little bit promising in the previous game at the start, especially when Tanuka Dabare and Sangeet Kure were batting. But then they just really lost it again during that middle overs from over number 8 to the 15th. They just fell apart and they lost wickets very frequently.
Yeah, the two you were mentioning had a 51-run second wicket stand after Ashan Randika was out quickly. He made runs in the first game, but he's not playing today, Ashan Randika. Straight to the fielder. Expensive drive from Tanuka Dabare.
It's a very important game for the Greens, Haritha, because a win here will put them on equal points with the Blues. And if the Blues beat the Reds in the evening game, then the Greys will automatically qualify, rather the Greens will automatically qualify for the final. But if the Reds win in the evening, because we'll have 3 teams all tied up at 2 wins each.
That's where he bowled the first one, but on that occasion Dabare got the toe end of the bat. This is a wide.
Poor start from Nuwan Tushara. On the other hand, Haritha, Greys would want to sometimes finish off with a victory. So you never know. It's going to be a very tough call, but they'll be very keen to finish off well.
Didn't know very much where he was going to play that. Bottom edge. Between Binura Fernando and Pathum Nisanga, they almost let that roll to the boundary.
You see, he was given the charge, got a inside edge. But the interesting factor here, if you notice this, see the throwing arm of Binura Fernando. Now he's a left arm quick, but he throws with the right.
You should know better. Another good couple. Didn't really mean to get that between the two fielders. He was looking for a more expansive drive through extra cover.
But Nuwan Tushar, on the other hand, has not really found his line in this over. He's going a little bit far too outside the off stump. Let's see. If you look at the field, the fine leg is up in the circle. There's a deep square, a mid wicket and a mid on. And on the offside, it's third man on the boundary.
Brilliant shot. That's what Dabare is capable of.
Well, it was in the zone. This is what Tanuka Dabare was trying from ball number 1. And there you go. Finally, he gets it in the middle of the bat. Didn't try to hit it too hard. Just made sure that he got it in the right place. Middle of the bat. Look at the follow through of that. Beautifully done.
Tanuka Dabare played for Lumbini. Good top order bat he was. Good dot ball to end the over. End of the first over. Grace put into bat, have scored 10 without loss.
So these are the two teams. Grace with a couple of changes. Kasun Vidura and Ratnayaka. Tarindu Ratnayaka coming into the side. Ashan Randika is not playing today. And the other player is Akila Dhananjaya. On the other hand, the Greens, Binra Fernando comes in replacing Nimesh Vimukti.
So this is somewhat of a surprise to me. Mudita Lakshan. Oh, beg your pardon, Ramesh Mendes rather. Spin. And you have the option of Binura Fernando. At 25 on the other side is Mudita Lakshan. I was looking at the wrong name, wrong team.
Oh yes, Rama. Good boy,
Maybe the
Rama.
reason for that is the two left-handers out there in the centre. Dasun Shanaka opting to go in with a little bit of off spin from the Maligav at the end. So let's see what Kasun Vidura is made of.
Down leg side, he missed out on that one, angled across his body. Kasun Vidura played for St. Joseph Vaz Wenapua. Now turns out for Chilau Marians.
There you go. Ramesh Mendes trying to fire that one in. Given air on that occasion. Just only get a run. So that's where Ramesh Mendes is trying. He's trying to bring it into the left-hander, trying to beat him in flight, trying to more like york him. Something different that he's trying to create with the angle that he's bowling.
Dabare made room for himself, got towards leg stump. Good looking shot, inside out shot. Oh, that's a shot of confidence.
Well, he was not afraid to do that because he knows that Ramesh Mendes is not getting that much of turn. And with the angle that is coming, it's coming into him. So there you go, he goes inside out. Almost a pickup shot.
If head coach Avishka Gunawardena gave him free rein, well, he's enjoying. Better delivery. Fired into the pads as the batter was moving in his crease.
Similar stroke from Tanuka Dabare. He's using the angle that Ramesh Mendes is trying to create. He's trying to bring it into that block hole. But Tanuka Dabare has been very good. Look at where he plants that front foot. That's the key. And he goes over extra cover.
First one, he went aerial. This one, he was much closer to the ground. Good shot. On both occasions, he had moved towards leg stump to make room for himself to play that inside out shot. That was crack. All of a sudden, got Dasun Shanaka thinking. Good thinking.
Much better from Ramesh Mendes, trying to bowl it a bit slower. End of over number 2. It's 22 for none. Game number 5. Greens versus Greys. Blues versus Red. That will be a very important battle. Under lights. Perfect picture that will be. To me, on paper, the Reds look the more stronger side. But they've had 1 win and 1 loss.
Yeah, they have very good ones. Yes, Binur Fernando missed out the previous game because of not being well. 4 for 26 is best figures. He can bowl fast. It's an all left-handers, left-armers, southpaws game now. The first delivery was with the right intention. Keep the batter in check.
Now, Binur Fernando will mix things up. That's what he normally does. He's got a good change of pace. He can bowl fast and he can bang it in short. Gets a good lift with his height that he brings in. That's something that both Dabare and Vidura will have to be aware of. A very wide slip for Binur Fernando. Just what I was telling you, that lift that Binura Fernando brings in. From what I've seen from Binura, from the edges, he has that ability to really give that ball the zip and also to bang it into the surface when the ball gets a little bit older. But when the ball is new, he really can fire it in.
Yeah, his height he can make use of. This is an important game for Kasun Vidura. He has been prolific in domestic cricket. This is recognition for all that. Loose shot.
I thought also the pace that Binura bowled that delivery was much slower than the previous delivery. And Vidura was into the shot a little bit too earlier than he would have expected that ball to come in. This is umpire Pragit Rambukwala, who is standing in as head umpire.
Wicket-keeper batsman for Nalanda College during his days. It's another good delivery. He's really got the measure of Kasun Vidura Binur Fernando.
The length, isn't it? That's the key. He saw the charge, maybe saw the charge a little bit early and banged it a little bit short. Good bowling. This is why Binur Fernando is up there with the best Haritha.
Still good. He's just conceded 2 singles in his first 5 deliveries.
This is umpire Ravindra Vimalasiri.
He was a genuine all-rounder for Dharmapala Vidyalaya Pannipitiya.
Law enforcement officer. Played for police.
That was well cut. Room for himself. Dabare. Oh! Did his best to keep it away from the boundary, but couldn't do. Lakshan Sandakan. That's over number 3 completed. 28 without lost grace.
Room given. And that's Thanuka Dabare. The fielding effort, I thought he would have done better on that. Lakshan Sandakan didn't get down on time. And it just rolled away for a boundary.
Good start, this Kosala. 140, is that what they're looking at?
Ma said it's 160.
So Nuwan Tushar coming back from the opposite end from where he started. This is a real test for Kasun Medura. He's not only quick, he could be intimidating too, Nuwan Tushar. He knows that this is an occasion for him to be of some importance for his team.
Unable to get it into the gap. Now Kasun Vidura must make sure that he gets more of the strike to Thanuka Dabare, because Thanuka Dabare has got 18 of 11 and he's been looking good. So he needs to make sure that Dabare has most of the strike. Mind you, this is the power play. Over number 4, 2 more to go. So the Greys will want to maximize.
Dabare knows exactly what to do. Beautifully played.
Well, he definitely used the pace on that occasion of Nuwan Tushar. Short, he banged it in. Uppercut to the vacant area for a boundary. So Thanuka Dabare is looking good and looking dangerous for the Greens.
Like it, looking dangerous. He was good all right, but now he's looking dangerous. He's enjoying his stay out in the middle. If he is allowed to bat in this fashion during the first 6 overs, he would make quite a dent on the opposition. He's busy, he's well focused. Yorker length delivery.
What Adhikari or Kasun Vidura must do is he needs to make sure that he rotates the strike. He gets a single, gets Dabare back on strike. There is a short fine, a mid short mid and a mid on. The square leg is on the boundary of the onside. Where does Nuwan Tushar want to go? Does he go full?
That was very well played. Beautifully played. It was pure timing and placement. That's a shot of confidence.
There you go. Nuwan Tushar wanted to go full. Missed it a fraction. And Kasun Vidura opening the face, turning the bat at the last minute to make sure that he got it into that gap. This is good from Grace.
We mentioned he was the top run scorer in that 50-over tournament. Could probably understand why. Straight to the field. Went straight to the field. It's a dot ball to end the 4th over. Grays 38 without loss sent in bat.
Great start for the Greys. 38 without loss. This is swung away on the leg side. Not in a lot of control, but he'll still get a boundary. This is Dabare. He is looking to take on the bowling. He is in a punishing mode. And he's moved to 27 in quick time. Again, that bounce. I think it was the splice, but still with short fine leg inside the circle. He got away with it and got a boundary.
Yeah, helped on his way. It was targeted into the body by Bruno Fernando. And this is where I think the Greys have been really good. Putting into bat after losing the toss. The young Vidura and Dabare has been magnificent so far. Again, too much width. Lakshan, something at that third man. Does the fielding. Bruno Fernando getting that excess bounce. And that may work into the batsman's favour as well. But in this occasion, there's plenty of width.
I think Bindra's mistake is the width. The bounce is good, provided he's bowling wicket to wicket outside the off stump. Just allows the batsman to free his arms. Dabare is moving quickly. He's moved to 29 or 15. He's striking well, almost close to 200. Almost 2 runs every ball. Another short one. Swung away on the leg side. That's 6. That is a big one. Binura Fernando being taken to the cleaners. The 50 is up.
That's a poor ball by Binura. It was neither short or neither full. It was just a drag down. And what a fantastic shot by Dabare. Was waiting for it. Got the opportunity. Friendly pace. 70-meter hit. And that went probably 85 meters. Fantastic.
I got the feeling that Binura Fernando was looking to take the pace of the ball and got his length wrong. Let's see now what he does here. That's another slow one. This time an easy single. This is a big over. Already 13 runs of the first 4 balls.
A couple of deliveries before, but just a drag down. And the first over, Binura Fernando was getting plenty of bound just outside the off stump. The length was quite full. And this was a drag down. Complete. And look at the shot. Beautiful. Reminds me a bit of Brian Lara in that shot. And the previous delivery, as every time, Binura, when he's in doubt, bowls a slow ball.
Another run. This is turning out to be a good over. Runs of almost every ball. So he's got a boundary. They've got a 6. And then 2 and 2 singles. So very productive over into the 5th.
160 on the cards, Roshan?
Yeah, 160 looks good, isn't it? But the problem for the Greys have been that the middle and the lower order hasn't been good. Just the top 3 or 4 have really contributed. Come to the party, the rest haven't. Dabare on strike. Another slow one. Another single. 15 runs of the over, 53 without loss, 5 overs gone.
A fantastic start so far by the Greys. I think this is craving for a cameo by Movin Subasinghe. We saw glimpses of it against the Reds. And this team of Greys lacks big hitters in the middle order, as you said, Roshan. I just feel the script is nicely set up for Movin Subasinghe. So far, 7 boundaries and a 6. Greys just a 5 overs, 9 dot deliveries. Pretty sure after losing the toss, if Ashan Priyanjan was asked how much runs after the 5 overs, he would have taken 53 hands down.
.53 without loss. We're going to see a change in the bowling. Dhananjay Lakshan, who takes a lot of pace off the ball, who mixes it up. He's played 50 games. 50 games, Dhananjay Lakshan. That's a bit. I didn't think he would have played so many, but that tells you that the modern cricketer plays a lot of T20 cricket. He was like on the scene just yesterday. Straight to the man and cover. Trouble here! Trouble here! Oh my goodness. There was a comedy of errors, not just from the batting side, but also the fielding and the backing up. For a moment, Dhananjay Lakshan wasn't settled at the bowler's end. Look at the non-striker, that was Vidura. And look at where Dhananjay Lakshan is.
Almost, yes, no, sorry. Matpatum Nisang, I thought that was a poor throw. Was nowhere, either the one bounce or the full into Dhananjay Lakshan's palms. But saying that, as you said, it was comedy over, as we've seen so many runouts with the Grays in the last game as well. Continue to do so, but lucky this time. The damage was minimum.
Oh, big one. But will this be taken? In fact, it's 6. That's a big one. Onto the pads. And he just whipped it. This is Dabare. He's now going at 200%.
Thanuka Dabare, the young man, making a name for himself. Take a look at that stroke over mid-wicket. For a moment, I thought Jeffrey Vandersay was in the business at deep square leg. Backpedaling, backpedaling, backpedaling. No way. It's a huge boundary, 70 meters. A fantastic bit of timing.
Dabare is looking good here. This time, he gets a single. He's off strike. Adhikari, on the other hand, has been playing a more supporting role. 13 of 12, but look at Dabare, 44 of 21. He's going at, look at what he's achieved. 2 sixes, 5 fours, just 5 dots. That's an amazing strike rate.
He's grabbing his opportunities with both his hands, Dabare. Mentioned about in the pre-show as well. In these kind of tournaments, the team of Grace quality, comparing with the Greens, I think nothing to lose, everything to gain. They've lost a couple of games, no way of coming to the finals, and all of a sudden they play fearlessly. And in the receiving end are the Greys, who has to, beg your pardon, the Greens, who has to win to stay in the competition. Slow ball again, this time plenty of width. The field at cow point giving chase. That's Ramesh Mendes have no chance. So far this over has gone for 12 runs, and not even the over has finished. Beg your pardon, 11.
Turning out to be a brilliant over in this SLC Sky Exchange Invitation T20 League 2022. This is Adhikari. That ball staying down and being driven square. In the gap, the outfield is quick and you get good value for money. Also, just to remind you that this tournament is powered by Dafa News and co-sponsored by Daras and IPG with a beverage partner, Elephant House. 2 balls to go in the over. That's a much better delivery, a tighter one.
And just before the last delivery was bowled, there was a slight change in the field by Dasun Shanaka, bringing up the third man, sending back the cow point fielder. I think this is last delivery was the only seam up delivery, but seam up quick delivery delivered by young Dhananjay Lakshan. There's been plenty of slow deliveries. Sometimes when you have too many repertoires in your armory and you try too much, I think that's where Dhananjay Lakshan was found wanted. Another slow delivery, dot delivery, goal at this moment. 11 of that over, power play finish, Grace 64 for no loss. Fantastic. The 2 young men, Thanuka Dabare and Kasun Adhikari, playing his first game, playing the second fiddle. Dabare, the more destructive batsman, has scored 44 of 21 deliveries with that magnificent 6 over mid-wicket. I think all the bowlers of this team Greens have been tested. Vindo Fernando, Nuan Tushar, Dhananjay Lakshan, Ramesh Mendes.
Now, interesting move. It's going to be the left arm wrist spin of Lakshan Sandakan. As umpire Ramukwala confirms, it's the end of the first power play. So 2 left-handers in. Lakshan Sandakan coming on. Just a solitary over from Ramesh Mendes. Sandakan 70 games, that economy of just under 8, best of 4 for 18. Just hasn't made his mark at the highest level. Lakshan Sandakan, he's had a few ins and outs in his career. Now there is more breathing space for the fielding captain with fielders on the boundary. Starts off with a poor delivery, which is on the bounce to the man at mid-wicket. That's a drag down.
Sandakan will be tested. The batsmen are settled, got their eye in, batting the first power play. Not much choice does Dasun Shanaka possess, especially with two left-handers. Sandakan usually takes it away from the left-handers and have the luxury of having Ramesh Mendis as well. Got Jeffrey Van Der Sar
Come on, boys. Come on,
turning the
boys.
ball into the left-hander. That's where I think Dasun Shanaka will be not willing to take that risk of bowling Van Der Sar to the two left-handers.
What about an off-spinner? There is Ramesh Mendis who can bowl some off-spin. So far 3 singles, but there isn't a spare off-spinner in this side, is it? There is the leg spin of, as you say, Van Der Sar. There is the left arm spin of Sandakan. But what about the rest? There isn't anybody else who could roll their arm over, isn't it?
Skipper Dasun Shanaka, the only pace option, who hasn't bowled yet. Oh, straight. If he had missed that, would have been a dead duck. Abinder Fernando, the lanky fast bowler, doing the hard yards. I also feel, Roshan, Dasun Shanaka must be bowling much more than this. You and I have spoken plenty of time about this. Dasun Shanaka's not willing to bowl much in these kind of games. Why I said that was, if he does bowl even in the national team, at least probably 3 to 4 overs, if he can do that, can add a lot of balance to this team. So maybe something to think about going forward.
Last ball of the over. So far it's been a good one, just 5 singles. He needs to finish well. He does so, only a single. Bindra Fernando. He's a versatile man. He throws with his right hand, bowls with his left. 70 without loss, 7 overs completed.
Ten runs for over so far been maintained by Team Grace, who has been put into bat. Last over, just a 6 singles by Sandakan, bringing some calmness into these Greens bowling attack. 64 runs in the first power play. The first 30 to 21 deliveries, the second in 12 deliveries, just the 2 overs.
Ramesh Mendis, no surprises bringing him on. He's got 3 overs left, just a solitary over for 12, but he'll be expected to bowl his full quota of 4 overs. Bowled at a difficult time when the power play was on. With the 2 left-handers on strike, they'll expect Ramesh Mendis to try and bring in some control. From round the wicket that time, Adhikari, the batsman.
Game plan for the Greens are quite simple. Try and build up dot deliveries. And game plan for the Greys got to be Tabre to play his natural game, attack the bowlers, and Adhikari, when he gets the opportunity like that, go over the top, short, and ask him to be hit. Probably Ramesh Mendis saw Adhikari coming down the track, dragging it down, and Adhikari having the presence of mind to dispatch it over mid-wicket.
Well, that was very well played, but if you look at that shot, you don't think this is a 70-meter boundary, because it looked so easy and cleared the boundary so easily with minimum fuss. Ramesh Mendis looks surprised. Take nothing away from Kasun Adhikari's shot. It was a brilliant shot. He just swung it over mid-wicket. But the point is the timing was so good. And the boundary looked small with that shot. Another single.
It's a matter of getting yourself in. I did mention in my pitch report as well, the batsman giving some time to get in. Once you do that, you have the luxury of catching up if you are too slow. In this case, Adhikari, the last game when you saw Greens were batting, that was Niroshan Dikpal, who started quite slowly comparing his standards, but did end up
and score the match-winning 70-odd not out. So I think most of the teams watching, I mean, this is the day where the day after tomorrow's finals will be determined. This is the way to go forward. The batsmen settling in, get yourself in and go big. The batsmen who are coming late will take a little time to get adjusted, and it's not easy to go straight away from the first ball. A single to end that over. 8 overs gone, 79 for no loss, Grace.
This
One me harga na. Aru.
this this is a very promising start for the Greys. The previous best in the power play was 62. They made 64. Tanuka Dabare improving on his 33 in the previous game. Kasun Vidura beginning to show how good a cricketer he is.
Yeah, the two youngsters have grabbed this opportunity with open arms, especially Dabare, who has been really powerful. And the young Adhikari took a little time to get himself in. The last couple of overs showing some urgency now. 80 for no loss, just 8 to a paddle swept. This time towards the fine leg area. There's one Tushar cleaning up the boundary line area. So I think that's where Grays have done really well. And that's 50 for Tanuka Dabare. Just the 26 deliveries. Fantastic knock. Started well and going strong.
Oh, he's done very well. 2 sixes, 5 fours and only 5 dots. That's a batsman who is there with a mission.
Simply superb. Plenty of intensity. And chose the right bowlers, targeted the right bowlers, targeted his areas. Champion innings so far. From the greens, it's about picking up at least a couple of wickets. At the moment, I just feel they're just going through the motions, hoping that one of these batsmen will throw it away rather than having a tactical change to pick up a wicket.
They're trying to target Sandakan. It didn't work. He's experienced all right. I thought initially, Maha, this would be 140 chase. Looks like it's going to be bigger than that.
You don't believe my pitch reports, do you, Haritha?
I know it's capable of making 160, fine. You know what happened over the first 2 days. The batters were not there for the mark.
As any good thing, Haritha, it's about warming up to the occasion. So I think more than Greens bowling bad, the Greys have batted well. Let's give it that way. We always mention the team as underdogs have nothing to lose, everything to gain. When you have that attitude, if the two batsmen get in, they're the force to reckon with.
And the first two have got in. That's to their advantage. That's a rare miss. I let you talk through that.
And nutmegged Niroshan Dikwella for 4 byes. End of the 9th. Grays going well. 87 for no loss.
He was not even there to collect that.
Niroshan Dikwella usually very safe fielder, but this occasion I think the batsman changing his style, switching it ends. He missed out, and important boundary for the Greys. Not so important for the Greens, bringing in Jeffrey Vandersay for the first over.
First game he picked up 3 wickets. Second game He was brilliant on the field, including a brilliant catch. Best of 6 for 25, 71 wickets, 69 matches, good strike rate. Economy, well, you want to get that a little bit better. But Vandase, on his day, could be deadly.
Right, fasten your seat belts, folks. This is where I think Dabur will be targeting that long on deep into gut field. Ball turning back in unless Jeffrey Vandase bowls the googlies more often than not.
Yeah, he'll test Dabare's patience. Vandase is that sort of a bowler.
Two googlies to start with by Jeffrey Vandase. The idea is pretty clear. The plans are pretty clear. Not giving anything in his arc. Dabare tried to slog sweep towards mid-wicket. Not giving the length. Neither the line. And bowling the googlies.
It's very smart, very good. 3 balls, 3 dot balls. He would probably start moving in his crease, Dabare. Yeah, it was all about patience. Whew. It was in the air for a long time for Pathum Nissanka. He had to run a lot.
Don't think Pathum Nissanka picked it up at all. He just ambled across thinking that he will take it on the one bounce and then all of a sudden realize it's catchable and then nowhere near. That's quite poor by Pathum Nissanka, usually a very safe fielder. A disbelief by Dasun Shanaka. Won the toss, got the Greys into bat, 91 for no loss. What's going on through his mind as a captain?
Second one missed by Niroshan Dikwal. Why?
Everything going the other side for the Greens. They would have thought in the toss, put the opponents into bat, try and chase it down with having a close eye on the net run rate. But it's a Greys from the first delivery itself. And I don't think Niroshan Dikwal, you can blame him for that. I think it touched the pad. But saying that when things goes wrong, it goes terrible. So far for the Greens, it's been one of those occasions.
More conventional. 10 overs completed. Greys sitting pretty. 96 without loss.
Yeah, sitting very pretty in this SLC Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, powered by Dafa News, co-sponsored by Daraz and IPG Sports, and beverage partner Elephant House. This young Dabare's young package. Get that for some strokes. Shot of the day so far for me, Haritha. Inside out of Ramesh Mendis. That's another one. Down the ground. Binder Fernando was giving some width and smashed it. This was a good shot. Uppercut of the short delivery by Binder Fernando. Beg your pardon, Nuwan Tushara, and Binder Fernando dragged down, went over square leg. Dhananjay Lakshan been picked up over square leg again. And young Dabare is having an outstanding day so far for the team Greys.
So, Tanuka Dabare making life difficult for Dasun Shanaka. Speak concerned. 96 for no loss. He must be wondering what is going to happen over the next 10.
Also, I'm a bit surprised he hasn't come to bowl himself. His experienced campaign have bowled plenty of occasions. On these occasions, a slow ball is started by Nuwan Tushara from the Kettarama end. And that's where I think he should be leading from the front. Sees that all the bowlers are under the pump. Probably show them the way. You need the captain firing all guns blazing, especially with the Asia Cup coming up, the qualifying for the World Cup, then the World Cup hopefully. Down the leg side. Oh, Niroshan Dickwella couldn't pick up in the beginning and all of a sudden just put across his foot. Lucky that he did it with his boot. But saying that, bring up the 100 as well for the Greys.
It didn't rise as much as he probably thought. Kept low. Never mind. Plenty of runs now. And a lot to think of. Damage control. Is it coming too late?
You have the feeling sometimes the wheels are coming off as well. Looking at the body language, some of the fielders just going through the motions. That's not a good sign when you are going to chase down a big score and you got to win to stay in the competition. See, that's where these senior players of this Greens team need to step up and show the way for the youngsters.
The first century partnership of this tournament. And what a big impact the inclusion of Kasun Vidura had made for the Greys. The grey area over the last two games for the Greys was their batting. It's all lit up now.
The grey has become purple. I see the purple patch.
Deep purple.
And that's what happens usually when you have nothing to lose, knowing that you're out of the competition. Just go out there, have fun. And all of a sudden you hit a rhythm and then you carry on and the opposition suffers. That's a perfect example. We have seen this happen many times and today is just another occasion.
Yorkerland delivery.
Very close call. Niroshan Dickwella appealing. I think Tusharo and Dickwella thought it was off the foot. The umpire signaling is off the bat. Interesting replay coming up. Oh! I think Dickwella probably is accurate in this occasion. Get me the looks very, very close. Let's take another closer look. This time it's probably swinging down the leg side. I think Dickwella and Nuwan Tushar, a couple of deliveries before, were right. Let's take a closer look, Hartha. What do you reckon?
Let it come through. This is what Maruf was talking about. Umpire Prageet Ramukwella thought it came off the bat.
I sorry to say this, that looked plumb in front. Nuwan Tushar very unlucky. Another Yorker. Probably little 6 inches shorter than the Yorker. That's good fielding, very good fielding. Swinted in and saved the single run. Unlucky over for Nuwan Tushar. Could have been picked up the first wicket. Grace 105 for no loss. Yeah, 9 runs in that over of Nuwan Tushar, 105 for no loss. First 50 in 27 deliveries, second in 34, slightly slower. I think this is where Dabare will be the man for the Greys. Plenty of batting to come for the Greys. Sangit Kure, Minod Banuka, skipper Ashan Priyanjan, big hitter Movin Subasinghe. All these players are yet to come. More than anything 160. Greens will be tested right through.
So what else to do? Bring yourself on. That's what Dasun Chanaka has done. ...152 matches, 45 wickets. Best of 3 for 6.
When you have so much experience as a captain, straight away welcoming into the crease with a neatly played paddle sweep or Dill scoop, whatever you call it, but really effective. Fine leg up, third man up, straight away.
Kasun Vidura Adhikari making a huge statement.
He's kept his opportunity, hasn't he? This is smart. Saw the fine leg up, saw the third man up, understood. Usually a bowler for the first delivery itself will most probably not bowl the Yorker. Waiting for a length delivery, got it and dispatched it over fine leg for a boundary.
Good comeback delivery. Yorker. But he manages to cross over. Thanuka Dabare is dangerous himself.
Good responses by Dasun Shanaka. Full, right in the money. Showing his experience here. For Thanuka Dabare, there's 4 fielders patrolling the boundary, the leg side, deep long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg, a deep fine leg. It's going to be either Yorker or the into the pitch slow balls. Oh, where was it bowled? Oh my God. The wheels are coming off the greens.
Oh. Wide and buys. This is huge. We're looking at 180 for once.
A very poor delivery. Nushan Dikwal, usually very safe behind the stumps. But today he had a day to forget so far. That was quite unlucky. Just brushed the thigh pad, I think. And this picked up blade and almost ended up in his foot. Lucky. He didn't get it. Outside edge again. This time passing that third man fielder. Plenty of runs in this over so far. 14 runs and 3 more deliveries to go.
This is a really big edge. Never mind. That's exactly what he wanted to do. Get it into a gap.
The last 30 balls, 52 runs. The Greys are picking up the rate. As I said, the Greens just going through the motions, just waiting till a batsman does a mistake. This time, oh, very good catch. Dasun Shanaka, slow ball into the pitch. And the young Thanuka Dabare's innings comes to end with 66 with a neat catch of his own bowling by Dasun Shanaka.
He was surprised, Dabare, but that was a good response after the delivery by Dasun Chanaka. That's why he's such a big asset.
Absolutely. Thanuka Dabare, magnificent 66 of 40. Grace 119 for 1.
Movin Subasinghe, strike rate of 150. He's only played 13 matches. He's very young, 22 years. And Maharoof next to me is waiting to see how he faces up to the first ball.
Yeah, that's on Shanaka. Won't be surprised if he dishes out a bouncer. Oh, this is wicket. Slow ball into the pitch. Smart bit of bowling. And even better catch. That's on Shanaka. Usually very safe fielder. Appreciated by the teammates. Mentioned about Movin Subasinghe against fast bowling. I think Dasun Shanaka, that's where he has finished his one bouncer, and that too went for a boundary. Usually they say in white ball cricket, do not finish your allocation of one bounce early on in the over.
So the Wesleyite, who is reputed for his ability to clear the boundary at almost his own will. This is a time when that skill is needed from ball one.
I remember the first game he played against the Reds. The six he hit against Wanindu Hasarang in the same pitch. He almost ended up in the second tier of Arpinasa Stadium. Back of the length, nip him back in. Good finish by Dasun Shanaka. 14 runs in that over. Grace 119 for 1.
This is a wonderful performance by the Greys. 119 for 1 in 12 overs. Sandakan has been good. He's just gone at 5 runs and over. Done him. This is Adhikari. Now, this is what the Greys wanted to avoid. They've lost the 2 established batsmen, which means that they will now have 2 new batsmen at the crease, allowing the Greens to try and dictate terms off the boot, off the pad rather.
Very unfortunate for Adhikari. It's a wonderful innings that he made. But as you said, both the set batsmen are back in the pavilion. This is Kasun Adhikari. Bowls on the can for 36. It's 119 for 2.
$119 for 2. Just look at the 2 batsmen. Super Singer faced 2 deliveries. Sangit Kure is the new batsman. He hasn't faced a ball, 27 years. Now the opportunity for the Greens to come back strongly, to try and get in some useful overs, some dot balls. Try and bring in some control. That would be the plan. Sangit Kure on strike. Sandakan starts off with a friendly looping half volley. Very, very lucky that it wasn't being put away.
Yeah, this is the dismissal. Unfortunate, bowled off the pad. And it rolled back. Loud shout. And up comes the finger. Now this is what Grace definitely didn't want. A wonderful start. And suddenly, they're 119 for 3.
That looked out to me. He was walking across in the crease. Sangit Kure. Lakshan Sandakan getting his second wicket. Take a look. Yup, that was heading middle and leg. Sangit Kure was on the back foot. There was no problem there for the umpire. So the Greens are getting their act together. Sangit Kure out for naught. 119 for 3 now. Right, Minod Banuka is a new batsman joining Movin Super Singer and Grace in a spot of bother. They have lost wickets close to each other. In fact, lost all 3 wickets on 119. This is Minod Banuka. Fair bit of experience, 82 games, 118 that strike rate. Lakshan Sandakan into his 3rd over. Has got 2 wickets. They've come back strongly. The Greens. So far, it's turning out to be a good over. 2 dot balls and 2 wicket-taking deliveries.
Come on, boys.
So this could be the over that really turned the game around for the Greens. Another dot ball. Will there?
Come on, Sadakan.
There's one more to go in this over, but this has been a wonderful over from Lakshan Sandakan. Just look at this one. Got him in front. He was trying to play for the turn.
Played with just soft hands. They'll get a single. He'll get off the mark. But a wonderful over. A solitary run and 2 wickets. It's 120 for 3. 13 overs completed.
So SLC Greys, look at the opening partnership at the top. 66 from Dabare and 36 from Adhikari. But both going in quick succession, and also Kure. And now they're 120 for 3.
So that's on Shanaka providing the initial breakthrough with the wicket of Dabare. Good catch of his own bowling. Sanakan 2 wickets in the over. Oh, goes past the outside edge. Now this is a very, very important phase for the Greens. They're coming back strongly. They bowled some really good deliveries. Take a look at this hint of movement. Enough movement, in fact, to beat the outside edge.
Well, this is what experience can bring in. Dasun Shanaka using all the experience, mixing things up.
Suddenly, the runs have dried. And the Greys are now struggling to get off the strike, or the Greys batsmen struggling to break those dot balls, the string of dot balls that have been bowled. Well, quite a few dot balls in the last over with those wicket-taking deliveries, 5 of them. Dasun Shanaka have started off with 2, so there have been 7 dot balls in the last 8 bowled. Only a single this time. In fact, they'll want 2, but they'll be happy with 1.
Easy.
Now, how do the Greys get back onto the scoring act? That's something that they will have to look at. Who are the bowlers they want to pick? Are they going to just nudge Dasun Shanaka around and try and go after the spinners? Because we know that Ramesh Mendis has a couple of overs. There is Sandakan who has 2 more. Jeffrey Van der Sar just bowled a solitary over. So those are the things that the Greys will have to look into, who they target. They will be looking at 160 plus if they can get there, but they need these 2 to get a start for them.
Over the top. 1 bounce, and that's 4. This is Moin Subasinghe. He's a striker. Give him width, he'll go after the bowling, and Dasun Shanaka is not express. And just opened his big shoulders. He's a big striker. This young man is a big unit. And done easily over extra cover.
This is the reputation that he brings in coming into this tournament. To use the long handle, hit the ball a long way. And he's not afraid to go after the bowling.
Not in control, not in control. Good catch in the deep. Very good catch indeed. Ran in from the mid-wicket boundary. Looked like Nuinudu Fernando. Nuin Subasinghe was done with a bit of extra pace and bounce. And very good catch indeed, running in from deep mid-wicket.
If we really take a look at it, he was playing it from the crease. He was neither back or forward, and also the pace undoing him. Moin Subasinghe gone for 4. The Greys 125 for 4. So the captain makes his way to the centre. He's a vastly experienced player. Strike rate is 123, but those matches 117. Now he'll have to use all that to make sure that Grays put up something to challenge the Greens.
Last ball of the over. Only a single. Another very good over. 6 runs and a wicket. 126 for 4.
So this is the SLC Greens bowling. 2 wickets for Sandakan, 2 wickets for Dasun Shanaka. The other bowlers have been a little bit on the expensive side, but the Greens are making a comeback. And let's see how they get about 126 for 4, the Greys.
Yeah, 2 for 11 for Sandakan. He's been the best. Well, don't forget Dasun Shanaka too has got 2 wickets. 4 wickets now in the space of 3 overs. At the moment, the Greys are tied up in knots. They just don't know how to break free.
This is the wicket of Mohin Subasinghe. He tried to hit it most finer, but that was a good catch. Good bit of fielding.
Ow!
But the he took a little time to make that release and enable the batsman to make their grounds. Good bit of fielding. That's Van der Zee. That pick up and turn. He took a little time to do that, and there was no power in that throw.
Oh, well, this is a great comeback by the Greens. At one stage, 200 looked on the cards, but now the Greys will be happy with around 170, 160 to 170, which will be a tremendous boost for the Greens.
Nice.
It's about bowling dot balls now. They're just stringing plenty of dot balls together.
Come on, Sanda. Come on, Sanda.
At the moment, Sandakan is on top. He's just turning out to be so economical, difficult to get away.
And what I like in Dasun Shanaka, he's gone with the wicket-taking bowler. He knows that one more wicket will do the job for the Greens. Beautifully cut away. Work for Nuino Fernando. But just a single. That will take the Greys to 128 for 4. This is good from Sandakan. Even when Dabare and Vidra were going, I thought Sandakan bowled that solitary over much better than the others. He had gone only for 5 runs in his first over. His second over is the one that brought the 2 wickets for the Greens. Let's see how he finishes here. Down the track. And it's only a single. This is good stuff from Lakshan Sandakan. He finishes his third. The Greys is third for 14 with 2 wickets. And in fact, he's finished his figures of 4 overs. It's 129 for 4. This is the Greys Manhattan. Couple of good overs at the top. But then those 3 wickets falling. And since then, it's been on the downhill.
$129 for 4. 15 overs bowled. Well, at one stage, 12 overs, 120. The last 3 overs, 100, just 9 runs and 3 wickets. Is a great comeback. Van der Zee bowled a solitary over for 9 runs. Starts off with just a single of the first ball. Well, singles won't hurt the Greens at the moment. It was boundaries that were reigning not just off the bat, they have extras. There was so much of misfields on the field, poor bowling. And it was one of those bad days for the Greens in terms of what we saw on the field with the ball in hand. But all they wanted was a wicket, and with that little opening, well, the Greens bowlers have now started to slice through this batting order.
You all can see, Roshan, that the pace that Mendes is bowling now is bowling much slower. He's not afraid to give it air. He's tossing it up, looking for that wicket. That's a bit quicker through there. They look for two here. They've gone through for the one. They run that one very fast. They're coming back for the second. The throw is at the bowler's end. But Ashan Priyanjana managed to get in. That's what they will have to do. They will have to work the ones into twos and try and build up the pressure on the fielding side. They're always looking for two there. Ashan Priyanjana was very quick off the blocks. And he was coming in for the danger end. And he would have made it quite comfortably. Good running. This time he tries to go over the top, but only as far as a single is concerned. The Greens wouldn't mind that as long as they can dry off the boundaries. That will be what Dasun Shanaka will be wanting his bowlers to do. Look at this field on the onside for Ashan Priyanjan. There's three men on the onside boundary. Now they look for two. No, they're satisfied with one. So Priyanjan just nudging it away. 135 for 4. This has been a far better over from Jeffrey Van der Zee. Now Vinod Bhanuka can hit the ball pretty hard. Down the track, he goes up and over. High, hard and handsome. And that's all the way for 6. What a way to end the over. It's 141 for 4. So there you go. Vinod Bhanuka. This is what he can do. As I did mention that he can hit the ball a long way. Nuan Tushara, he's been expensive. 28 from his 3 overs. He went for some stick when Dabare and Adhikari were going on. 3 boundaries taken off him. Haritha, where would you think that the Greys would want to end up?
30 runs from now on in the last 4 overs, because the most experienced of the two is on strike at the moment.
Goes for a big swing. Fails to make contact.
He was trying to go over mid-off. There's no long off.
The mid-off is inside the circle. 4 men on the off. And now you can see that the mid-off is dropping down to long off. Oh no. It's still kept inside the circle.
So Dasun Shanaka wants wickets.
Satisfied with the single. These are the 4 wickets that have fallen so far for the Greys. It was a good catch of his own bowling from Dasun Shanaka.
Tanuka Dabare was first gone.
Next was Vidra Adhikari. And then Sangeet Kure didn't trouble the scorers. And Mohin Subasinghe was well caught in the deep. That's a good ball. That really went through Vinod Bhanuka. He missed everything. Missed the bat, missed the pad, and even the stumps.
angled across the left hand, right under his eyes. The umpires are conferring. Is that a catch behind that has been appealed for? Okay, now Lyndon Hannibal will start deciding. Soft signal is you can bat on.
Yes. So they were, I think, appealing for a catch behind. Let's take a look at that. It's a fair delivery. Oh. No, I think it's, for me, Haritha, it looked like the bat hitting the ground. Very difficult to say, but this is not going to be easy for Lyndon Hannibal. So not out being highlighted in the giant screen.
He was well beaten, Minod Bhanuka.
Chase for the bowler, and they'll come back for two comfortably. Ashan Priyanjan is pretty quick between the wickets. Minod Bhanuka just knocking it around, and they pick up a couple.
Yeah, these two are the most experienced of the batters in the lineup for the Greys. So they know how to get out of tight situations. But will they be permitted to do that is another story.
Minod Bhanuka made a statement in the previous over. Tries to make room for him, and that was not well fielded. It was the captain on that occasion. And they will pick up another couple. So Shanaka didn't get his body behind that one. And another couple to Minod Bhanuka.
Usually a safe fielder. Completely wrong-footed.
Whipped away on the onside. Just a single. One Tushar wouldn't mind that. So would the Greens captain. That is the end of the over. It's 147 for 4. So this is the Greys batting card. 66 at the top from Dabare, 36 from Adhikari. And Minod Bhanuka unbeaten on 20. But other batsmen yet to get into double figures.
Yeah, 119 run opening stand. And then 3 wickets fell for 119.
Vinod Fernando, 21 from his previous 2. That's on the expensive side. Will want to make an impact. His changed ends. Also, Haritha, the Greys have been helped by 17 extras from the Greens.
Yeah. Neeraj and Dikwal had an off day behind the stumps today.
Bowled him, clean him up. Vinod Bhanaka was trying that too often. He was looking for room. Vinod Fernando just kept going straight and went on the theory, you miss, I hit. And that is the end of Vinod Bhanuka. He backed away too much. Vinod Bhanuka gone for 20. 147 for 5.
Tarindur Ratnayaka is the new batter. 43 matches. He's made just 150. Decent strike rate, 131. Played for St. Thomas's, plays for Sebastianites, but before that he had turned out for SSC.
It's a good start from Binra Fernando, the over, first ball wicket. Well. He missed out on that one, definitely. Ratnayaka, that would have been put away. That is a very friendly full toss. This is how the wicket fell. Vinod Bhanaka was looking for room. And Vinod Fernando was aiming for the base of the stumps.
Interesting to note whether Dasun Shanaka wanted Binur Fernando to bowl the last 2 overs.
Another dot ball. Now this is good from Binura Fernando. Now what does Tarindur Ratnayaka do here? I think what he needs to do is just trying to get a single, get Ashan Priyanjan on strike. The captain, the more experienced man. And you can straight away see that Ashan Priyanjana maybe sending the message, you just tap it and we'll take it from there.
2 good matches today, entrance free. If you're within arriving range, come and watch the cricket.
Another dot ball. Well, so the co-sponsors for this tournament, Daras, the universe of Daras, with over 5 million products to choose from. Download the Daras app today and explore. Live, play, explore with Daras.
Come and see the match. Close hand.
Full toss. But he was trying to bowl a slower delivery, but it just, I thought, slipped out of his hand. Now, Binura Fernando tried to bowl a slower delivery. It was on the full. And now, Binura Fernando seems to be in some sort of a niggle. We saw him hold his right thigh when he was coming back to his bowling crease, thigh area. So is he having something? Be a question. Slower delivery again. Ashan Priyanjana was into the shot much too early than he would have wanted to. It's 148 for 5. As the 18th over comes to an end. So 148 for 5. The first at 119. The second also at the 119. Third at 119. The fourth 125. And now the fifth falling at 147. But 119 opening partnership has not been able to put the Grays to a total that might be beyond the greens.
Yeah, the first 5 wickets falling for the addition of 28 runs. Brilliant surroundings of Kettarama. Yeah, now having completed that over, Bruno Fernando is off the field.
Dhananjay Lakshan starts the fresh over. A big swing from Ratnayaka. Gets an outside edge and he gets a boundary, a much needed boundary for the Greys. They'll need a lot more of those, Haritha. Dhananjay Lakshan again losing on his line.
Yeah, trying to angle across the left-hander's body. Went too far outside off stump. Gave Tharindu Ratnayaka the freedom to swing. He did the right thing. The edge was what was needed.
Swings this one. Has he got enough on that? Has that gone all the way? Yes, it's gone over the mid-wicket fielder. Tharindu Ratnayaka means business.
That was brilliant. It dropped short, but he had to go a long way over Pathum Nissanka. Took a chance. Take a look at this. From the middle of the bat. Confident shot. How can you believe that first 3 balls he couldn't score?
Well, that looked like a baseball punch to me. Home run, you could call it.
Yeah, a double-fisted forehand won't go that far in tennis. It has got Dasun Chanaka thinking. They may be looking at 170.
A swing and a miss again. He was looking for that mid-wicket area. Dhananjay Lakshan went further wide of off stump. Now this is the 6 that, look at that, for a shot. That he was thumped by Tharindu Ratnayaka. Even Pathum Nissanka's effort was all in vain.
Ratnayaka moved in his crease and Lakshan was so far away.
Well, he was trying to follow the batsman, but missed his line. There you go. He was trying to follow the batsman, but that slipped out of Dhananjay Lakshan's hand. He was trying to bowl a slow one as well. Now, Tharindu Ratnayaka has been trying the same stroke in all the deliveries that he's faced. He's trying to get into that gap between Pathum Nissanka and the long-on man. But Dhananjay Lakshan has been good. Now, Dhananjay Lakshan is hurrying back to his crease, a bowling mark.
At least the right intention. Had to come to the longer end. Thought that was Ramesh Mendis.
Good running from Ashan Priyanjan.
He actually forced Ratnayaka to turn back and go to his crease.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again. Now, Tharindu Ratnayaka was not really interested in the second, but Ashan Priyanjan has seized that opportunity. He hairs down the non-striker's end. A little bit pressure on Tharindu Ratnayaka, but he made it quite comfortably. Lakshan He needs to try and finish off well in this over. He's been gone for some runs. Ratnaka makes room. This one goes down to long off. It's going down the throat. It's taken comfortably down there. Ramesh Mendis is the fielder. So Tarindu Ratnaka's brief innings comes to an end. And Dhananjay Lakshan finally has the last laugh. Take a look at that again. Another slower delivery. Tarindu Ratnaka was trying mid-wicket again, but only as far as long off is concerned. A well-judged catch by Ramesh Mendis. The 6th wicket falls, that of Tarindu Ratnaka, out for 13. It's 161 for 6. Jeffrey Van der Zee, it's a 161 for 6. He's back into the attack. He's into his 3rd over. None for 21. He's been expensive today.
This was the score that Greens made in the previous game.
Priyanjan tries to play a reverse sweep. They'll pick up a single nevertheless. The new batsman in is Pulina Taranga. And this is the SLC Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, powered by Dafa News. Title sponsor Sky Exchange, co-sponsors Daras and IPG Sports, and beverage partner Elephant House. Pulina Taranga tries to go big. Over mid-wicket again, slower through the air on that occasion by Jeffrey Van der Zee.
At least he's trying to keep the boundaries to a minimum. The highest team total so far in this tournament, coming into the 5th innings, 5th game rather.
This time Ashan Priyanjana comes down the track, but only will find the fielder at long off. That's Nuinudu Fernando. And that's the end of the Greys captain. Van der Zee picks up his man.
That's the second catch for Nuinudu Fernando. Safe pair of hands.
Priyanjan getting on the toe end of the bat. And he departs. That's Priyanjan out for 4. 163 for 7. So 4 balls remaining. 3 balls remaining in the innings. This time again, a big swing by Pulina Taranga. This has been good from Van der Zee, the last over that he's bowling, last bowling over of the innings rather. Oh, that's going to be a wide. They go through for a single as well. 164 for 7. I did mention that the beverage partner is Elephant House. They're the oldest and trusted food and beverage manufacturing company in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, mate.
Household name, never mind.
Yeah, Andy.
So last ball coming up of the Greys innings. What can Mudil Lakshan tries a reverse sweep. They'll pick up 1. Jeffrey Van der Zee has bowled a wonderful final over. And the Greys, who looked threatening at one time to almost touch 200, end up their 20 overs at 168 for 7. The best score of the tournament so far.
Yes, would have thought that at least another 15 runs would have been possible. But good captaincy on the part of Dasun Shanaka, brought himself on, had the initial breakthrough, then wicket started to tumble. I think the Greys batters were in a big hurry at the top of the innings. They got that opening stand going, never really capitalized after that. So, all in all, Greens would be rather happy to restrict them to 166 for 7.
Yes, I think from the way things are going, especially when Dabre and Adhikari were going, 180 and beyond were looking good. But then Dasun Shanaka coming in, a good return catch of his own bowling, turned the entire game around. Sandakan came up with an excellent backup over. Now this is the Greys batting card. 66 from Dabre, 36 from Adhikari, 20 from Minod Bhanuka, 13 from Tanu Ratnayake, the only men to get into double figures. 22 extras have helped the Greys to make 166 for 7.
Yeah, the opening stand was 119, remember?
The bowling, a wicket apiece for Bindu Fernando and Dhananjay Lakshan, and also a wicket for Jeffrey Vendese, but 2 wickets each for Lakshan Sandakan and Dasun Shanaka, who made the change in the Greys innings. So this is how things started with a beautiful off drive from Thanuka Dabre. Got them on the way, and then going inside out against Ramesh Mendes. And he was well supported by Adhikari.
Yeah, the Greys were put into bat, and in a game where Greens were expected to dominate, but it was the Greys openers who really took the game away from their opponents for a brief period.
Yeah, this is how Dabre and Adhikari went about their business. Half century for Thanuka Dabre. Then this is where it all started to change. Excellent effort from the Greens captain. Then in the next over, they had Adhikari and quickly followed it up by having Sangit Kure.
Subhasingha was promoted in the order, but he couldn't last long.
Good catch from Nuvinindu Fernando. And then Minod Bhanuka offered some resistance to make 20. And this is Ratnayake holding out in the deep. And then Ashan Priyanjana trying to go over the top, found the field at mid-off. So the Greens need 167 to win this game and make a claim for the final.
Yeah, they have the highest team total so far. To win this one, they'll have to improve on that.
A warm welcome for the SLC Sky Exchange T20 Invitational Tournament. We are live at the R. Premadas International Stadium. Grace versus Greens is the game. The two Gs, the batting card of the Grace will be a little bit disappointed after a good opening partnership. 166 for 7 is not the type of return they were looking at, with Dabare and Adhikari getting them off to a good start, but very little support from the rest of the batting, with just two more batsmen getting into double figures. It was a very good effort on the part of the Greens, starting off with the captain, Dasun Shanaka, who made the breakthrough, and then we did see Sandakan chipping in 2 for 14 in 4 overs, outstanding, and then some very good support from the rest of the bowling, restricting the Grace to a fairly manageable 166 for 7.
And also the fact that the inexperience of the Greys might have shown a little bit. We saw Ashan Priyanjana knocking the ball around and trying to get the single and inviting and asking the other batsmen to really try and go for the big ones. Vinod Barnak was trying it. We saw Tarindu Ratnayakar trying it. But then again, the experience of the Greens bowlers like Vendese, Sandakan, Dasun Shanaka really standing out and grabbing that opportunity when they were, and for them to get back into the game. We got 119 for 3 at one stage. At the end of 12 overs, we were always looking at something like 180. But then Dasun Shanaka had different ideas. So there you go. The Greys players getting ready for that huddle. The two umpires making their way out, Bimlasiri and Pragit Ramakwella. Two fine cricketers during their days. Ramakwella played for Nalanda College, and Bimlasiri. This is a few other spectators who've come in to watch this game on a Saturday. And if you're somewhere close by, just make your way to the R. Premadasa Stadium. Entrance is completely free, because we've got a wonderful run chase coming up, because I feel that the Greys, the Greens, are really going to go after this one. They need 167 runs to win, and they also will want to make it in a fairly quick time if they can, because they all know a victory is not good enough sometimes. That run rate will come into play for a place in the final.
167 the target. It's a lovely evening. It's a good-looking surface. Niroshan Dikwella, fresh from his heroics in that last game. Pathum Nisanka hasn't really fired as much in this tournament. Well, the Greens will be hoping that it will be his day, just to try and get them off to a good start. There's quite a few. In fact, this is Pathum Nisanka. 54 games, his strike rate is 118, just 24 years. But the Greys have a pretty versatile bowling attack this time. Niroshan Dikwella, his real quality, has played at the highest level, has opened the batting for Sri Lanka in white ball cricket. Good strike rate. He's 29 years of age, closing in on 2,000 runs in T20 cricket. Taridu Ratnayaka, ambidextrous, bowls both left arm and right arm. 45 wickets. I like that economy. Just over 6 runs an over.
Especially in this format, that's good. We normally say that 7 is okay, but at 6, that's excellent.
I think even 8 is all right in T20 cricket, but anything more than 8 is considered slightly on the higher side. But this man, he's just over 6. Here's the first ball. I like his left arm spin. Ratnayaka. More than actually his right arm off spin. He looks a more left arm spinner to me. But then he's quality on with both hands, both right and left. Now with the left hand on strike, I'm interested to see whether he'll come in with his off spin.
He's going round the wicket, so most probably it's going to be right arm off spin.
Omino, kassa, wait, kassa. Asri.
Yes, he's going to bowl his off spin. If you can take a closer look at that, he's ready with his off spin to bowl at Dikwella.
Kawin. On that.
Dikwella is down the track. It beats Dikwella. It beats Minod Bhanukar.
Ketian dana.
The Greys will be disappointed. Niroshan Dikwella he knew very little about that delivery from Ratnayaka. Let's take a look at that again. He saw Dikwella coming down. He fired away, got an inside edge. You couldn't blame the wicketkeeper. He was very lucky that he didn't go back onto his stumps.
Bowling his off spin.
Natakana.
He looks all right with both right arm and left arm, but I like him with his left arm spin. He looks a little bit more controlled, but I mean, in fairness, this is amazing. He's got good control with both his hands, both right arm off spin and left arm leg spin or left arm spin.
He's not the first one that Sri Lanka has, Roshan. We saw Kamindu Mendis do that.
I think this guy is a better bowler. Kamindu Mendis doesn't bowl as much, but Tharnedu Ratnayaka bowls much more.
Natakanda.
Nice loop, isn't it?
Dari Ivarakanda.
Dropping it quite nicely in a good length.
Dari Ivarakanda.
It's called Datha. Tharnedu Ratnayaka. Good over. Very good first over. Just 3 runs off it. 3 without loss.
So this is game number 5. We've already had 4 games completed. 2 wins by the Blues, 1 by the Greens, 1 by the Reds. We got a game in the evening. Blues taking on the Reds. And the big final on the 15th, which is an evening game. Milan Ratnayaka.
The drone is at work right above the ground. The drone. Goodness, it gets into some massive heights, doesn't it? Sometimes frightening. I have this fright for heights.
And also the control that whoever is operating, it's amazing, isn't it?
Well, Prasad is the man who's down there who operates. He's a master.
Yeah.
He's been with IPG production for quite a few series. And the drone is becoming an integral part of television production. And some of the pictures that we see in domestic and in cricket in Sri Lanka. Here is Milan Ratnayaka. Has a brisk action, doesn't he? Just rushes in, has a quick arm action. May not be express in pace, but he can be a little bit sharp.
So Milan Ratnayaka picked up 3 wickets in his previous outing and brought back some fight into the game in the match against Blue. This is the first one that he had. And he's quite a nippy character. Hits the deck fast and he just skids on sometimes, maybe with his action that he comes in.
Yeah, he rushes the batsman. He's tall. Haven't really seen him get a lot of bounce, which is surprising. You would expect him with his height. He stands well over 6 feet, doesn't he? He's got a very nice action and a run-up. Quick arm, brisk.
And also the fact that he hits a seam very well. That's the one that's why he gets a lot of nip off the wicket. He really nips off. He's a very nippy fast bowler. He bowls in good lengths. He doesn't try to go back of the length much.
So far he's been very, very disciplined. Bowling wicket to wicket. Just take a look at his action. Quite an easy run up. Pretty rhythmic. And hits the crease well. It's a strong action. Nice follow through as well. A good strong action.
Just another single. Oh, it's a misfield, and they'll come back for two. The Greys can't afford to do that. They need to keep the pressure on the greens. Misfielding down in the deep. And the batsmen are very quick to see on that. Pick on that, rather.
Yeah, not great fielding. This is the beauty of T20 cricket. The slightest miss, just that little bit, allows the batsman to come back for two. And they've got to be sharp on the field, isn't it? That was Movin Subasinghe. Just that extra bit of time allowing the batsman to turn. That's the type of bounce we're talking about. Because he has height, he hits the deck. And he's generally bowling back of a length with that high action. That ball went nicely carried through to the keeper.
But Pathum Nissanka has been disappointing in this tournament. Roshan has tried to get the big shots away, but he's not been able. He's not been among the runs. Might be a concern moving forward for Sri Lanka with two big tournaments coming up.
Yeah, definitely it is a concern. Again, the timing is off. It's 7 without loss.
This is the points table. The Blues are at the top with 2 wins. Their run rate is looking good. So to me, they look a more certain team of entering the final. Reds and the Greens, that's where the battle will go on. So it's going to be Ratnayaka to continue. He's going to go with his off spin to the left-hander.
One.
Run the first one hard. And they're coming back for 2. This is good running. Poor fielding again. Movin Subasinghe was found ball watching. And it was very quickly picked up by Dikwal and Pathum Nissanka. Let's take a look at that again. There you go. He took a lot of time to release that ball from his hand. That's not good cricket.
Yeah, fielding is very important at this level, and especially in this format. In fact, fielding is important in any format, but T20 cricket will find you out. You've got to be quick.
Yes, fully. Hey!
And you just got to make sure that mistakes are minimized. T20 cricket is about being sharp, being quick. But sadly, Movin Subasinghe so far, we haven't seen that from him. Down the wicket, that's safe, over the top. That should run away to the boundary. So Niroshan Dikwal just starting to free his arm. Just starting to look for some shots.
Coming down the track on that occasion. The more important fact is got underneath that delivery. And he knew that the mid-on was up in the circle. And he gets the boundary. It's not an easy art, isn't it, Roshan, to bowl left arm and right arm and concentrate on both. How good can you get with both? Equally good with both arms.
4, short and wide. Well, the margin for error is very, very minimal. This is the problem. This is T20 cricket, and it also tells you how good this surface is. Nothing's happening. It's gun barrel straight so far. The ball's not moving or spinning. So therefore, the margin of error, you see that was just marginally short. loved Dikwal. I think the width was the key. He just gave himself a bit of room, which allowed him to get through that point area.
Yes, pulley.
Again, hit hard.
And also Dikwal can
can
pick those lengths very well.
Yeah, single off the last ball. 11 of the over, 18 without loss. Right, 18 without loss. It's a beautiful evening. Still pretty decent light. The floodlights are not on. Milan Ratnayaka. Oh, could have miscued it. Niroshan Dikwal. It was a premeditated shot. Still gets a single of an inside edge.
And I thought it came on quicker than what Dikwal expected. He was looking for that wrap or the deal scoop. I thought he missed the line completely.
Would have liked a little bit more bounce, I think, as well, just to try and get the elevation. But Milan Ratnayaka has looked impressive. Even in the previous game, got 3 wickets. He's looked good here. He's just gone for 5 in his first 7 deliveries. And Pathum Nissanka, he struggled. Niroshan Dikwal has been the man as far as the Greens are concerned. Had a very good return the previous game.
Well, he went on to make 75. It's still the top score of this 76. And came off 56 balls, 76 unbeaten. Carried his bat throughout that innings.
Excellent return for Niroshan Dikwal. Still not being able to get those runs. Still not being able to get it in the gap. Still not getting it off the square. Pathum Nissanka, that's been a struggle for him.
Yes, he's been struggling throughout this tournament, try and get runs on the board. That might be. This is a real concern for Sri Lanka, because you all know that he's the all-format player for Sri Lanka. And with 2 important tournaments coming up, Pathum Nissanka needs to be at his best.
4 of 9. The problem has been timing. This is quick running. Oh my goodness. Had that hit, I'm sure Pathum Nissanka would have been in serious trouble. It's worth taking a look. I don't think he had a quick start. I also felt that he was struggling. For sure he was. He was not creasing his bat. He seems to be completely off colour here. Yes, 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 for sure. At that hit, Pathum Nissanka would have been gone. Because he was not creasing his bat as one would expect him to do. He was just trying to mark his crease by putting his bat there rather than grounding it. Dikwal, on the other hand, has looked better. 15 of 12. But you need him to be at top gear at the moment, from now on at least. Into the 4th over. Just following him down the leg side again. Pathum Nissanka, where are you running?
Well, this just indicates the lack of confidence at the moment. Pathum Nissanka, he's running between the wickets. As you said, he's creasing. This is the previous ball. He's just herring down the wicket. He's not timing the ball. He's not middling it. He's not getting the gaps. Well, he needs to come good for Sri Lanka.
Last ball of the over. Good spell, impressive first 2 overs from Milan Ratnayaka. Short delivery, rushed him a bit. Excellent over comes to an end. Just 6 of the first 2 overs from him. 20 without loss after 4.
රවුමඩ යන්නේ එක ගියට කමන්නේ මෙයාවත් රවුමඩම දාගන්න ඕන නම්
It's promising to be a lovely evening with the sun now setting, but still enough light. Blue skies ahead. It's 20 without loss in 4 overs. We're going to see another bowling change.
අසන්නයි මෙයාව රවුමඩ දාගමුද
Mudita Lakshan coming on with his left arm spin. Excellent economy rate. Mudita Lakshan under 6 runs, under 5.5. Pathum Nissanka, who's made 5 of 10, will be the man on strike. Again, just can't hit that gap. He's struggling to find those gaps. He's not timing. Doesn't seem to be really having that real rhythm.
කෙලිම දාන්න පොළු තුන කෙලිම එන්න බෝල්ට එන්න
On inside edge, they'll get a single. He's looked a bit untidy, Pathum Nissanka, today.
Yeah, I think Pathum Nissanka and Niroshan Dikkal are both not the usual best for the Greens, especially Pathum Nissanka. 12 deliveries for his 6 runs, trying to overhit most of the deliveries against the fast bowler, Milan Ratnayaka. And at the moment, Niroshan Dikkal has to do the damage for Greens, chasing down this big score of 167. Deep mid-wicket, deep square leg at the 2 fielders, patrolling the boundary. Mid-on up, short fine leg up. As expected, Mudita Lakshan firing it in, not giving any air.
This is going to be a real challenge, isn't it, for the Greens? Well, the target set is not frightening by any means. 167. At one stage, they looked like getting close to 200. This time, that's a much better looking shot. That will release the pressure and that will make him feel good because it came off the middle of the bat. The timing was good and it raced away to the boundary.
The difference was in this stroke, look at the shape. Not trying to hit too hard, keeping the shape, going with the turn, I would say. Left arm spinner firing it in toward the leg side. This one giving some room to go through the offside. This is much better. This is the Pathum Nissanka we all seen and all experienced.
Oh, the reverse. Now he's starting to show his repertoire of strokes. The first one over extra cover and now the reverse sweep. He's starting to mean business here. He's got to 14 of 14.
Safe shot. All the fielders square of the wicket in the offside are in the circle. Taking the right route. Just one more over before the power play. Trying to maximize as much as possible.
Inside edge. Good work by Milan Ratnayaka. That time he was looking to blast the cover of that delivery. Really looking to hit it hard. He's got 15 of 15. He's caught up in terms of those runs. 31 without loss.
11 runs in that over by Mudita Lakshan. A couple of nice shots by Pathum Nissanka. One inside out and the reverse swim. And this one, I'm talking about trying to overhit, trying to overpower it. That's a perfect example. Head nowhere, the foot nowhere. Lucky the inside edge didn't end up in the stumps. I think that's where Pathum Nissanka got to still play his natural game. He's a much better player than that. Rather than just slogging, his timing, his placement, his charisma will carry him through. Sometimes when you're chasing down big scores, this is what happens. Instinctively, you don't want to overhit, but sometimes he just takes it over.
Right, we're going to have the ambidextrous Tarindu Ratnayaka. Started off well. Blow left arm to Pathum Nissanka, who goes for the sweep. Finds the man at square leg. Well, Pathum Nissanka is now shaping up much better than what he was. Did get 2 boundaries in that last over. Again finds the fieldsman.
That's it.
Last ball of the last over, Pathum Nissanka was trying to go over long on with a slog sweep, and a couple of deliveries before with the beautiful inside out. He was keeping his shape in that occasion and didn't have his shape at all. That's why he was not at his best, I should say. But in this occasion, 2 vital dot deliveries by Tarindu Ratnayaka. The ambidextrous, the runner ball is usually what we say, and this time it's stroker ball. Every ball has been trying to be attacked, but this is where I think Tarindu Ratnayaka has been magnificent. Surprised that he hasn't played the first 2 games, but showing his worth.
It's a very, very useful addition to the side. This time should be taken. Pathum Nissanka's struggles are over. Tarindu Ratnayaka strikes, pushed through a bit quicker, and Pathum Nissanka completely miscuing it. The reverse ending safely in the man at short extra cover. Another look.
Yeah, probably toe ending that. Pathum Nissanka's misery just ended by a magnificent piece of bowling by Tarindu Ratnayaka. Very impressive in this match for his team. Nissanka gone 15 of 19, greens 31 for 1.
Last 2
Dinesh Chandimal batting at number 3. Did have a wonderful series against Australia and was excellent indeed in that test series, but it's the T20 format that we are now focusing here for Chandimal. 2 deliveries to go in the over number 6 that is. Grays are doing well here. They've got a wicket, they've restricted the rates of scoring. The rate of scoring has been down, but Chandimal gets off the mark. Should come back for 2. In fact, they might turn for 3, but they'll be happy with 2. Just drifting onto the pads that time.
Flat down the leg side by Tarindu Ratnayaka. And equally nicely played by Chandimal. This was Pathum Nissanka's misery. Finishing up, toe ending and a neat catch. Short extra cover. Again, Tarindu Ratnayaka bowling very slow. Dinesh Chandimal couldn't dispatch it. End of the power play, greens 33 for 1. A very good power play for the Greys. Trying to defend the score of 167, 33 for 1 with the top class batting order of the Greens. Pathum Nissanka and Nikhil opening the batting. Couldn't get going at all with some smart bowling. The difference is the Greys 64 for no loss and the Greens 33 for 1.
කස්ස වයින්න ඕනේ කස්සා.
This goes to show how well the openers of the Grays team batted.
තිලක් උඩ. තිලක් එන්න. සංගා.
Power play 33 for 1. Skipper Ashan Priyanjan into the attack. Economy rate of 6.35. That's very impressive for I should say more than a part-time bowler. Captain bringing himself. Short extra cover, cow point, short third, short fine leg. Straight away down the ground.
Easy.
Outside edge, just a go, but enough bat to third man. I think that's where Priyanjan will be very, very handy. Taking it away from Dikwella, bowling it slower, not giving any pace to Dikwella to work with. Slow again, beautiful shot by Niroshan Dikwella.
Bola!
A bit of feeling at long off by Tarudurat Nayaka.
Show off thumb, sir.
පුලි.
Sir, center. Thank you.
එකඩ.
34 for 1.
Masih.
Priyanjan with his off spin.
One.
Chandimal slams it through extra cover. Running that first run hard.
කඩන්න.
They'll come back for 2.
එමලේ.
But so far it's been a disciplined effort by the Greys. They've not let the Greens get off the hook. Really not allowed them to really break free and just be aggressive and attack them.
අල්ලගන්න. එකයි මල්ලි.
Again running the first run hard. They're happy with 2. They'll come back for 2. This is brilliant work. This is really good work. Excellent running.
And also Grays would be thinking, they were slow starters, didn't play well in the first game, neither the second. But they got the rhythm. All the season is over for them. And there's good bit of running wickets between Chandimal and Dikwella, good understanding. There's always second run, especially with the deep mid wicket and the deep square leg fielders are kissing the boundary rope, not willing to come up. At least a 5 feet usually when we say, but in T20 cricket, most of the time fielders prefer to be in the line itself, trying to save that 6 runs or the 4 runs, cut the angles. So far 6 runs in this over. This is what the Greys will be wanting, surely but surely, to get the required run rate into double digits. At the moment, 9.7, that's a reverse sweep. Duvindu Tilakaratna at cow point doing the fielding. End of the 7th, Greens 39 for 1. 39 for 1 Greens. Just a 1 wicket lost of Pathum Nisanka, who was caught at extra cover of the ambidextrous Tarudurat Nayaka for 15. Still to come, Nunde Fernando, Narada Lakshan, Dasun Shanak will probably bat at 5.
Moin, short fine, moving.
Ramesh Mendis, Bindo Fernando, Jeffrey Vanderse, Lakshan Sandakan, Nuan Tushara.
39 for 1. It's going to be Duvindu Tilakaratna, who bowled extremely well in that last game, got a wicket in that first over.
අයියෙන් දුවනවා ගහලා එවන්න. තලි දාන්න ඕන තිලක්. එන්න තලි දාන්න තිලක් එන්න. තුන කෙලින්ම දාන්න. අල්ලගන්න. බෝල්ඩර්.
Driven firmly back.
Nice තිලක්.
Only a single.
This is where I think Niroshan Dikwella will target Duvindu Tilakaratna. Ball turning back in. Probably target the square leg, the deep mid wicket area.
Oh, make gun. අයියෙන් දුවනවා බලන්න.
Just chipping it away on the onside. Still doing it in singles. Not looking to really blast the bowling or looking for those big boundaries, just looking to settle in. But now the requirement, 126 of 76, around 10 runs and over. Close to that. That's a requirement for the Greens, which is pretty uphill.
That's it.
No.
Easy, easy.
Dikwala showed the intent straight away, as you mentioned. Ball turning back in. Duvinder Thilakaratne equal to the task, slowing it down, bowling to the leg side, not giving the length.
Big hit, 6. This is Chandimal. That was tossed up, came down the wicket and slammed it over long on.
Yeah, clean stroke. Not trying to hit too hard, keeping the shape, going through the routine of Chandimal. We all know when he's in a full mood. This is quite routine for Chandimal. Huge 6.
Excellent shot. Very, very good shot. Timing was perfect. Cleared the boundary.
That's it, that's it.
Nicely bowled, slowing it down. Duvinder Thilakaratne.
Last ball of the over.
1.
1 is the call and 1 is all they get. 9 of the over, 48 for 1.
A required rate of 9.9. Slowly, it's creeping up. Anything more than 10 runs, that's where I think the Greens will feel the pressure even more. Just 9 runs in the previous over by Duvinder Thilakaratne, who had a very good domestic season for BRC, reservedly getting his chance of turning up for the Greys. Very impressive so far. 8 overs, no extras at all.
At the end of 10 overs, Greys had made 96 without loss.
No run.
Nicely bowled by Ashan Priyanjan. Just throwing it down, not giving any width what Chandimal is looking for. It's a Saturday. It's a decent crowd has piled up to watch this SLC Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, powered by Dafa News, co-sponsored by Daraz and IPG Sports, beverage partner Elephant House. It's good to see, isn't it, Haritha? Crowd coming in.
Yeah, more people should actually come in. This being a fun weekend. Could be Saturday night fever. Blues in action against Reds.
1.
It's a long weekend. It's been Thursday being a day off and being a away day. Most of the public have gone on holidays, possibly coming back tomorrow. We expect a decent crowd for the finals at least on Monday. It's an open gate. Anyone could walk in, support this cause. Lots of youngsters who are trying to play for the national team are on action. And some star players in the national team at the moment playing as well. Yeah, this good running between wickets between Chandimal and Dikwala. There's a chance of second run. Without hesitation, straight away, crossing it for 2 runs.
Got to 50. It has to come a lot faster the next 50.
You mentioned about lot fast. I think I will talk about it in the next over. End of the 9th, Greens 51 for 1. Just a very good over by Ashan Priyanjan, just giving 3 runs away. And he's a very smart bowler. 6.85 in his career, the runs per over in T20 cricket. It's underrated. More the main bowlers going more than 7.5 per over. And Ashan Priyanjan for sure is more than a part-timer. 27 dot deliveries, that's been the problem for the Greens. It's almost 5 overs. When you're chasing down a big score, 167, you need that dot total percentage at least 25 to 30 maximum in a whole of 20 overs.
Clean as a whistle, second time.
The flighting there, Duvindu Tilakaratne and Dinesh Chandimal straight away down the ground. He saw it coming, smashed it. Previous over was much bigger, but this time big enough. And this is good batting. Straight away, the first ball putting the bowler under pressure.
During his school career for Trinity, Dickwella was the captain when he won the Triple Crown, which was the 2020, the 50 over, and the league of the schools. So he knows how important it is to get to that final.
Win.
Safe behind the bowler.
Eight runs so far. What is Dinesh Chandimal thinking? Run rate almost 10.3. I think one of these batsmen have to use the long handle more often than not. And the other, ideally, to bat through at least probably 17th or 18th over.
Milan Ratnayaka has been doing a lot of fielding in that long off area.
He's very impressed for the second day as well. Just 6 runs given away in his 2 overs. Got some bounce, good lines, good lengths. The previous game picked up 3 wickets, a decent catch. He's right in the spirits, isn't he? It's good signs. Down the ground, Dickwella this time right over the top of the bowler. Couple of bouncers and skids on to the boundary.
I think they have targeted Duvindu Tilakaratne. Never mind being the top wicket taker in the 50 overs tournament. This is a different ball game altogether. Beautifully struck.
Yeah, against a class of Dickwella and a pitch of this caliber, which is offering very less to the spinners and the batsmen, the more. 13 runs so far, just a 1 delivery left.
Tarindu Ratnayaka doing the clean-up. 10 overs completed. Greens in reply 65 for 1.
This summary so far. Greens winning the toss, putting Grace into bat. 166 for 7. Dabare and Adhikari, the 2 openers, batted magnificently. 66 and 36 respectively. Sandha can pick up the bowlers for the Greens, 2 for 14. In reply, Greens so far 65 for 1 in 10 overs. Another 102 to get. Just more than 10 runs per over. Dickwella going strong as well as Chandimal on 26 and 24. We have a good game in our hands.
Sustained 10 runs and over for 10 overs. That's why this 2020 format is so action-packed. They say that Indo cricket is action-packed. Take a look at this. More people coming in, families coming in. That's good. Enjoy.
A nice evening to have, isn't it? Weekend, come with the kids, come with the family, enjoy time, watch some cricket, at least 2 games, it's not 1 game, and support the next generation of Sri Lankan cricketers. This present generation is on action as well.
Anh nào tekan naik kai.
Look for two.
Saya balain Sawat dulu.
Mudita Lakshan was coming in from the boundary, so Dinesh Chandimal saw the danger.
Etan ඕනේද? එතන දාගමුද?
Yeah, plenty of spin options for the Greys. Just a lone fast bowler of Milan Ratnayaka. The rest of them are spinners. Doing Tilak Ratna. Pulna Taranga could bowl
Ali
leg
බලන් ඉන්න ටිකක්
spinners.
උඩට ඇවිල්ලා.
Doing Tilak Ratna, Taridu Ratnayaka, that ambidextrous Mudita Lakshan, the all-rounder who bowls left arm spin. Moving Subha Singh himself is an off spinner. Another option. In the air, trying to go over mid-wicket, getting the top edge. And Pulna Taranga at short extra cover, doing the finishing job. Ashan Priyanjan proves again that's more than a handful bowler.
This is pressure. They had to motor along at a very brisk pace. Left his crease, got to the pitch, but the execution was not perfect.
Not at all. I thought Priyanjan saw him coming down, Chandimal firing it in. The length wasn't there. It's more of hope the stroke was played. And Pulna Taranga finishing up the job with Ashan Priyanjan picking up the important wicket for Greys. Chandimal, a brisk 24, Greens 66 for 2.
If anybody can take the Greens out of the woods, these two can, as Dasun Shanaka comes in. Strike rate of 142 over 3,200 runs. 152 matches for the 30-year-old
Yeah, this the partnership should take Greens home if they to win this game. The two experienced men, Dasun Shanaka, how destructive he can be. We have seen many times, and he's here. Oh, Niroshan Dikwal, first ball after the dismissal of Dinesh Chandimal going down the track, and Ashan Priyanjan slowing it down. There was plenty of turns. A slight juggle by Minod Bhanuka. In the end, the job was done.
long way down. Turn. Beauty.
Smart bowling. Minod Bhanuka for a second would have had his heart in his mouth. But in the end, finishing up the job. Yeah, Dikwala gone for 27 of 26. Greens in trouble. 66 for 3.
Sanai. Slipper dalam. How's Sangha? Sangha. Big pain.
He can bat 250 so far. Let's see, 50 matches. That's a lot.
Making his mark, Dhananjay Lakshan, who had a very good LPL #1 in 2020.
This could probably be one of the most important innings if he can make it for his team.
That's off the glove, I think. If Minod Bhanuka was anticipating it, he could have taken that rebound. Straight away, Dhananjay Lakshan. First ball, trying to go for a reverse sweep. Physio is in the field. His concussion protocols, and he did hit the helmet. nowadays is very good to see, following a protocol whenever the ball hits the helmet to go through the routine. Couple of questions. What's your name? And how old are you, Haritha?
He was talking about the protocol, so I am not supposed to answer that question.
Gone are the days. He got hit. There's no chance, nothing was asked. Quickly the physio comes in, rubs some ice, and that's it. But since the tragic events what happened, I think this is a very good thing what the ICC have brought in, especially jokes aside. It's not given the slightest of matters shouldn't be kept away or not given the attention what it deserves.
What Dasun Chanaka did in 3 overs against Australia, he'll have to do for the next 9 overs. 67 for 3 at the end of 11.
Drone doing some routine stuff. Beautiful shot of Arpivasa Stadium. Sun setting at the moment. It's been a beautiful day, hot and humid, and a bright day. Take a look at that stroke. Wow. Simply magnificent. First 30 in 29 deliveries, second in 29, identical for the Greens. Pulnataranga, the new bowler, 62 games, 54 wickets. Again, an impressive economy rate, 6.8, just like Ashan Priyanjan. No. There was a short, fine leg, a leg spinner. He just came into the crease, only 2 delivery plays before. No, son, that's not the way. You rather go for a big stroke and get out than doing this.
So captain was there to receive from Dhananjay Lakshan, giving Pulina Taranga his first wicket for the game. Lakshan out for 1, just 3 balls faced. 67 for 4. Nuvanithu Fernando, good strike rate of 122. He's got 100 and 2 half centuries in his 25 previous games. He's failed with the bat in the first 2 games, but he held on to 2 good catches in this one.
A highly thought of player, Nuvanithu Fernando, and he's here of this very loose stroke, I should say, especially with the short fine leg field of Lake lurking around. There's no doubt that if most of the coaching staff of the Greens team, if Dhananjay Lakshan had gone for a big stroke or long on getting out, rather than doing that, and especially there's a fine leg field just for the scoop, and he seizes it, and that was a very simple catch at short fine leg.
No run. Nice, Puli.
Everything is falling into place as far as the Greens is concerned. Greens in all sorts of trouble.
Needed another Dasun Chanaka special, isn't it? Just have the feeling 99 or 50. One of those innings up in Pallakele against Australia comes into my memory. Shot again this time by Pulnataranga, and the deep into gut field holds on to it. The lone fielder deep mid wicket, and skipper Dasun Shanaka, he can't believe his luck. A simple catch which made it look very easy.
So the introduction of Pulina Taranga with 2 wickets, including this one.
It was asking to be hit. Probably in another day, Dasun Shanaka would have hit it into the second row of RPM Stadium, but it has been that sort of a day for the Greens. Just getting worse and worse. Skipper Shanaka gone for 0 of 4 deliveries. Greens 68 for 5 and in trouble.
All sorts of trouble as Ramesh Mendis comes in. He's made runs over 740 runs in 58 games, strike rate of 129, but that should be 200.
A player who has a triple hundred in first class cricket, Ramesh Mendis. Definitely a player who could play the important role for Team Greens. But at the moment, the 2 new batsmen. Nicely bowled by Pulina Taranga. That's a very good over. Just 2 runs, 2 wickets, and that too of 2 big batsmen. And to make the Greens feeling the worst. 69 for 5 after 12.
plan kara putih na plan kara putih na
Well, not looking good for the Greens. 69 for 5. They're going down a slippery slope quite fast. They got 8 overs left. Precisely 48 deliveries to get 98 runs. That's an uphill task, considering that Ramesh Mendis hasn't faced a ball. Nuanidu Fernando hasn't been in the best of form. Of course, the 2 dismissals have been courtesy some very good bowling. That was in the previous games. How close is that? How close is that? That's failure number 3 for Nuanidu. Pretty unfortunate. Done by a delivery that straightened down the line. And that looked as plumb as anything.
Coming back with Yao. Hit him on the back leg. Would have crashed into midland leg. Well, the Greys, this has been their best effort for the tournament.
Nuanidu goes for 2. It's 69 for 6. It's been a terrible day for the Greens, isn't it? They started off badly with the ball and then they came back, brought in some semblance of control, but now the batting is in doldrums. It's just been one of those really bad days. A game that they had to win, because a win here would mean that they would have a very good chance of getting into the final, provided the Reds don't win against the Blues. But now, another look, this is Nuanidu. Now if they lose here, I think the run rate will be a factor. We know the net run rate can be a real factor when it comes to the margin. Now, we're talking about 166 versus 69. So the best hope for the Greens is to try and get as close as possible to this 166, even if they lose. Make sure that they don't go too far behind in the net run rate and hope that the Reds lose by a big margin.
Well, a lot of things to look forward to. And when you especially have to depend on the performance of the other team. Something that you don't have control of, Roshan. 70 for 6. And really looking down the barrel at the moment.
Again, the question is asked and it's been given. Ramesh Mendis. Goodness gracious, flow mutations. Wicket number 7. The Greens are collapsing like 9 pins. 70 for 7 and the Greys can't believe it.
Let's take a look at that again. Coming round arm. Well. Might have crashed down like a Mudita Lakshan's picked up a couple in this over. And that is the end of Ramesh Mendis. Gone for 0. 70 for 7, the Greens.
Right, this is Jeffrey Van der Sey. Doesn't really have too much of credentials as a batsman. Just 124 runs. Ramesh Mendis was the last man out. Mudita Lakshan goes round the wicket, angles the ball back into the right-hander. And that time, that would have been clipping or hitting the leg stump. That looked out. That was a good decision.
The fact is that he was going very square up for a moment. I might have felt that it might have missed. But then, yes, looking at the replay. This has been a good over from Mudita Lakshan. He's been a decent enough bowler.
It's been a brilliant effort. I must say a good all-round effort by the Greys. Unfortunately, they have picked their last game, which is of no use, honestly. But having said that, if they win here with a big margin, I'll be interested to look at the net run rates. A single, it's 71 for 7.
Lights gradually coming on here at the R. Premadasa. It's always a lovely sight when the full lights are on, when you have a night game here at the R. Premadasa. It's so picturesque.
71 for 7. That's the skyline of Colombo. Through extra cover. Now, plenty of permutations. Now, let's look at the possibilities. Let's look at the Greys winning by a big margin here. And obviously getting their net run rate up. Now, I'm not sure of the net run rate. We've got to work it out. But assuming they win here with a big margin where they get some points or pluses on the net run rate. This is Sandakan. And then, what happens if the Reds lose badly to the Blues? So you would have 3 teams with 1 win, with the possibility of a team that didn't look good enough in the form of Greys vying for a final. I mean, this is amazing. This is just simply amazing. Oh, the slog sweep over cover. They'll come back for 2.
So that's why they say, Roshan, nothing is over till it's really been done and dusted.
Until the fat lady sings, as they say. Well, This is Jeffrey van der Sar playing the reverse. It's actually not a reverse sweep, a reverse hit. It's not a switch anyway. Goodness, the game of cricket has thrown up so many new shots, so many new innovations. T20 cricket in particular has thrown out all the technicalities of the game. It's about hand-eye coordination. It's about how far you can hit the ball and how successful you are. It's not about style. It's about the effectiveness.
I just wonder the good old coaches that we had during our school.
I'll tell you, they'll be turning in their graves.
One.
But
Nice, Kasa.
that's what this beautiful game has turned out to be. It's I remember the days when the coaches would say that cricket is a sideways game. You bowl sideways, you bat sideways, you feel sideways. That used to be the mantra. Another one. Another shout for an LBW. It is 76 for 7. 14 overs completed. See, this is commentary. Now we are not talking about the game. We are talking something else. So this is what is interesting. Because you don't have to describing this. Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. Commentary is not about explaining the match. When you look at television, is seen. You just color the picture.
So this is the match summary so far. 166 for 7. That's where the Greys ended up with. 66 from Dabare and 36 from Adhikari. And in reply, it's been a very poor reply. 76 for 7.
It is an uphill task. For sure, it's an uphill task for the Greens. Mudita Lakshan. Well, Van der Sar and Sandakan really looking to throw their bats at everything, but I'm afraid it's a little bit too late in the day.
And also, they don't have big credentials as batsmen. So, looking at 12, 13 runs and over, I don't think it's within their limitations to get that.
No, it's definitely beyond them for sure. They needed someone. They needed a batsman. Ideally, we're talking about someone like Dasun Shanaka, who would hitting those for sixes, who would be hitting those for sixes. Now, I'm not trying to in any way compare Dasun Shanaka to Sandakan, but that is why Sandakan's batting at 8 or 9 and Dasun Shanaka bats up the order. So Sandakan at best could get a single or two, but someone like Shanaka would be looking for 4s and 6s, but this time Van der Sar only a single. Now that's poor. That is poor. They had 2.
And as you said, they need to try and bring that deficit as close as possible. Even they lose the game, because that will come into equation if the Reds lose the next game.
I can tell you that this pair of batsmen, they are seriously looking to try and hit the ball around. They're just trying to maintain some sort of a run rate. 80 for 7, and their run rate is under 6 runs and over. Under 5.5, to be honest. Now the asking rate is climbing. It's almost. That's out. That's out. That's out. That's as plumb as one could get. 80 for 8. And Van der Sar has to take the long walk back, swinging right across the line.
There you go. Once again, Mudita Lakshan going wide of the crease and going for the big swing right in front. Mudita Lakshan picks up his 3rd wicket. And Van der Sar makes it walk back. He's out for 7. It's 80 for 8.
Last year, I don't think Binru will bat. Binru is not back.
Nuwan Tushara walks out to the centre, 80 for 8. And the Greens, what happened to them? That's a very Nuwan Tushara, he doesn't have much to talk about with his batting. But Mudita Lakshan, he's picked up 3 wickets. He's bowled reasonably well throughout the tournament. He opened the bowling in the previous 2 games for the Greys. He's not bad with the new ball as well. Well, the Greens will be really disappointed. First of all, they didn't bowl well at the start. They came back into this is the dismissal of Jeffrey Van der Seg trying to go across the line, caught plumb in front. And that's the end of the over. It's 80 for 8. So this is how the Greens batting went about. 27 to Dikwella and 24 to Chandimal at the top. 15 from Pathum Nisanka. But apart from that, it just looks like you've created a telephone number.
$80 Greens out 15, chasing a score 166. Who would have believed before the game started that a strong, star-studded team of Greens will be reeling at 80 This is a good running, very good running by Lakshan Sandakan. With the Greys, it's no chance absolutely coming to the final. Lost the first 2 games, and all of a sudden, one good partnership of Dabare and Adhikari. Look where it ends up.
And this is up in the air. It will fall in no man's land. They come back for 2. But we've been told that this is the last pair that's out there because Bindra Fernando will not bat. That's something, another problem where Bindra Fernando is concerned.
Yeah, that's not good news for Sri Lanka cricket. Especially Bindra Fernando, who's just made a comeback after the finger injury. He had made a comeback after a while. And this time I felt, and I saw him limping around in his last over, probably a hamstring or glute, which is frustrating for a fast bowler who's making comebacks for so many times. That it happens. You get injured once, you just keep on doing it. It's very important to keep the faith, keep the hard work going in. With the Asia Cup just hanging around the corner, a fully fit Bindra Fernando for me, it's a definite starter. But at the moment with the injury, his fingers are crossed.
It's definitely very saddening where Bindra Fernando is concerned. On the other hand, this is what they're all playing for here at the SLC Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, which is powered by Jaffa News.
Nuwan Tushara is a new man. I'm sure Pulna Taranga would be eyeing the front pad. That's what Taranga does usually, quicker. Hoik across, deep into wicket fielder. Safe as house. An easy catch to bring out the misery, the end of the Greens. As we mentioned, my co-commentator Kosala Suresh Chandra, the number 11 batter, Bindra Fernando, won't be batting because of the injury. And Adhikari finishing on the job with a very neat catch of Nuwan Tushara.
Well, it was always on the card. Nuwan Tushara was going to slog it anyway. He was not going to hang around. And a comfortable catch, well-judged catch at the end. And, well, the Greys, even if they might not qualify at the end for the final on the 15th, have given them an outside chance because they can depend on the performance of the game that's there in the evening.
Absolutely right. In case if the Blues beat the Reds, there'll be occasion now all 3 teams except the Reds have only won 1 and lost 2. It comes to the net run rate. So we're not sure about the net run rate yet, the points table, but they'll be having an outside chance, if I may say that.
So basically it'll be the winner takes it all game for the Reds when it comes to the evening game, Maha. And but I thought the Greys came with a mission today. They came with a different idea from what they played in the 2 previous games. They look very positive, and that opening partnership really took the Greens by surprise. They came back in the game, but when it came to the batting, they never looked in the hunt for that target.
It's all about nothing to lose, everything to gain attitude. And the Greys, the team is comprised with the players who have done well in the domestic circuit, who's not in the national setup yet. So after these performances, some eyebrows will be raised with some of the players in this Greys team, and hopefully they be in the probably the A teams or the emerging squads, the development squads going forward. That's what these tournaments can do as an individual for you. You put up a couple of good performances, you get identified, you get noticed, and all of a sudden you'll be recognized with some probably a contract or whatever.
Yeah, because So this is the Greens batting card. Only three batsmen getting into double figures. Nissanka, Dikwal and Chandimal at the top. But apart from that, everybody falling apart like 9 pins and been bowled out for 85 with Bindra Fernando not batting, retired out. The Greys bowling. 3 wickets for Mudita Lakshan, 2 for Ashan Priyanjana, 3 for Pulina Tharanga and 1 for Tharindu Ratnayaka.
And the wickets to fall for the Greens. Started off with Pathum Nissanka going for the reverse speed. The under edge caught an extra cover of Datha, Tharindu Ratnayaka. Dinesh Chandimal, a couple of big strokes. And this time Ashan Priyanjan, the wily old fox, getting out at short extra cover with a good catch by Pulna Tharanga. The right next delivery, Niroshan Dikwala coming down the track, trying to go against the turn through mid-wicket, stumped. And this was a bit of a brain fade by Tharindu Lakshan with a short fine leg fielder to leg spinner. And this one Chanaka, 9 out of 10 times he would have hit that to second tier, but this occasion only finding the field at the mid-wicket. This was Nunde Fernando being plumb in front. Young Mudit Lakshan, very impressive. Ramesh Ganesh again, plumb in front.
Well, that's what he again. He gets another LBW by having Jeffrey Van der Sar. 3 wickets for Mudita Lakshan. I thought he bowled very well in this. This is Pulna Tharanga getting the last step of Nuan Tushara. Caught in the deep. And they only lost 9 wickets because Bindra Fernando was retired out.
Summary, the Greens winning the toss, putting the Greys into bat 166 for 7. Dabari and Adhikari, the scorers, and the Sandakan picked up 2 wickets. In reply, Greens bundled out for mere 85. Pulna Tharanga, Mudit Lakshan, Ashan Priyanjan doing the job, and Greys winning by 81 runs. So we're going to take a small break. After the break, it will be a post-match presentation. It's been the Grace day so far, beating the Greens comprehensively. Match summary. The Greens winning the toss, putting the Greys into bat. 166 for 7. Dabre, Adhikari, the two openers, doing the early damage. Sandakan, Shanaka picked up a couple of wickets each. In reply, Greens bundled out for 85. Dikwal and Chandimal, only two batsmen to get along. Pulna Taranga, Mudid Lakshan, Ashan Priyanjan pick up the bowlers for the Greys. 81 runs comprehensively. And Roshan Abhay is ready with the post-match presentation. Let's join him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start the post-match presentation of this 5th T20 game between the Greys and Greens of the Sri Lanka Cricket Sky Exchange Invitational T20 League 2022, powered by DAFA News. Congratulations to Greys for winning their first game by 81 runs. Let's start off by thanking our sponsors. The title sponsor is Sky Exchange. Team sponsors are Sky Exchange and IPG Sports. DAFA News, it's powered by, and associate local partner is Daraz. And as usual, we are indeed privileged to have the ICC match referee Graham Lebroy, who will give away the Man of the Match award. And in fact, this evening, the Man of the Match, he will receive a check of Sri Lankan rupees 50,000, courtesy Sky Exchange, and it would be presented, as I said, by Mr. Graham Lebroy. For his quick fire 66, it's Tanuka Dabare. Tanuka Dabare of Grace is our man of the match today. Yeah. Tanuka, can we have a quick word with you? ප්‍රථමයෙන්ම මොකද හිතන්නේ ඉනිම ගැන විශේෂයෙන්ම ඔබේ කණ්ඩායම තරඟ දෙකක් පරාජය වෙලා මේ ආරම්භක සම්බන්ධතාවය බොහෝ විට පිටුවහලක් වුණා මේ තරඟේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්නට.
ඇත්තටම කලින් මැච් එකේ මම ලකුණු 37ක් ගහලා මගේ විකටේ විසික් කරා. මම ඒක ඔලුවට ගත්තා මේ මැච් එකේ මම ඒ දේ කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. මේ මැච් එකේ හොඳට ලකුණු 40ක් ගහලා මම එකේ වෙන් ගහලා 50 ගහපු ඉඳ තමයි අපි මැච් එක උඩට ගියේ. නැත්තම් තව යටට ලකුණු අඩු සංඛ්‍යාවක් අපිට ලබා ගන්න තිබුණා.
ඔබගේ කණ්ඩායම එක මොහොතකදී ලකුණු 200ක සීමාවකට යන්න තරම අවස්ථාවක් තිබුණා. ඔබ මොකද හිතන්නේ ලකුණු 166 ගැන?
ලකුණු 166 කියන්නේ හොඳ ස්කෝර් එකක් මේ විකට් එකේ. ඇත්තටම අපි ඩිෆෙන්ස් කරා ඒගොල්ලන් ලකුණු 80කට ඕල් අවුට් කරා. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම සතුටුයි.
ඔව් එතකොට මේ දෙවනුවට පන්දුවට පහර දීම අපහසුයි කියලා ඔබ හිතනවද? මොකද උන් කාසියේ වාසිය ලබාගෙන ඔබට ප්‍රථමයෙන් පන්දුවට පහර දුන්නා.
දෙවෙනියට බෝලේ පොඩ්ඩක් කැපුණා මං හිතන්නේ බෝලේ චුට්ටක් කැපුණා. අපි මුලින් බැට් කරද්දි මොකුත් උන්නේ නැහැ.
මේ තරඟාවලිය ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ? මොකද ඔබේ කණ්ඩායම ඇත්තටම ක්ලබ් කණ්ඩායමක්. ඉතින් ඔබ වැනි ක්‍රීඩකයෝ T20 ඒ කියන්නේ අන්තර් සමාජ T20 තරඟාවලියේ බොහොම හොඳින් ක්‍රීඩා කරලා මේ තරඟාවලිය ක්‍රීඩා කරන්නේ. ඉතින් මෙවැනි තරඟාවලියක් ගැන ඔබේ අදහස් මොකක්ද?
ඇත්තටම අපේ කණ්ඩායමේ ඉන්න ක්‍රීඩකයන්ට හම්බ වෙන හොඳ ඔපචුනිටි එකක් මේක. ඉතින් හොඳට කරන එක්කෙනා ඉස්සරහට යනවා. ඉතින් අපිට අපේ කණ්ඩායමේ හැම එක්කෙනාටම chance හම්බ වෙනවා.
හොඳයි. අපි ඔබට සුබපතනවා අදහස් ගැන. Right. All right, that is the man of the match. That is Tanuka Dabare. And can I now talk to Dasun Shanaka, please? The Greens captain. It's a bit of a surprise for me, Dasun. You reserved your bad performance for an important game. What really went wrong?
I think we had a plan before coming to the game, giving them to bat first and chasing down the total. So I think the way we feel first not really help us in the course.
Yeah, so do you think that your decision to bowl first really backfired on you? Because did you see any change in the pitch when you all guys batted?
Yeah, not in the today game, earlier games as well. There was a little bit of change in the pitch. It became slower and slower. Credit to their batsmen, the way they batted in the first innings.
Right, let's look at the bigger picture now. The Asia Cup coming up, your captain obviously of the T20 side. How do you see this preparation and how confident are you about your team?
Yeah, see, it's a short tournament, but still there are a lot of things to carry from this tournament, and lot of plus points and negative points. And when we analyze, there were no beginnings in the whole tournament. So that's where I'm a bit disappointed. So when we play a tournament like this, normally our national players, they all stand up. But in this tournament, none of the guys really perform. So I think that's a negative for me. Other than that, the way boys played, it's all good.
I think you still got an outside chance, isn't it? If the Reds lose this game and then 3 teams with 1 win, you might still have an outside chance?
No, I don't think, because the margin the Greys won today, so possibly they might have a better chance than us.
All right, bad luck today. Anyway, all the best for the Asia Cup.
Thank you.
Right, that's Dasun Shanaka, ladies and gentlemen, who is the captain of Greens, today's losing captain. Can I talk to the winning captain, Ashan Priyanjan? Tell me, what was your secret?
There's nothing, not a secret. I mean, we were been there all the games. We came very close. So I think the boys did really well today.
Didn't you feel that you very nearly threw it away even today? 120 for 1.
Yeah,
Looked like 200.
Yeah, at one point we felt like we were short like 10 to 15 runs. But like I said before, even in the last 2 games, the bowlers did a fantastic job and they continued their form.
Yeah. Do you think that the strategy of the Greens helped you, putting you to bat first, where it took the pressure off you guys?
I mean, maybe, but still it's a good pitch. I mean, I think they played some bad shots and that's what the downfall to them.
Yeah, just one final question, Ashan. Now, your side comprises of all the players who did extremely well in the club tournament, and how do you see this team, and how do you see the exposure to these guys, because they're playing in front of television, they're playing under lights, white ball, and playing against some good opposition?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity for the players. I mean, they've been performing well in the domestic, in the T20s and even in the one-day tournaments. So it's a great opportunity for them. And the bowlers did a fantastic job, and like Tanuka and Kasun did a great job today. Hopefully they'll blossom into future stars.
So keeping your hopes high for the final, is it?
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, very well done today.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation.
As you heard from Ashan Priyanjan, their chances of getting into the final is still alive. Safely say, Greens are out. It's the Blues against the Reds, the big one, coming up next, and we are on air at 7:20. Please join us then. Until then, it's a goodbye.